don't you know? Banging our heads to the rhythm of the call. We don't care about dollars or the shiny way. We're just wanting to see the road. It's all every day. Round tripping positions, that's how we roll. We won't make a dollar, won't celebrate. We're the zero holders, are after we say. Zero holders are after we say. Zero holders, we're the kings of the sea. Not for the money, to live in the tree. For all the zeros, our way to be. In the world of NFTs, we're wild and free.
Good morning. Man, I've been slacking with those start times. What is it, like 7:40? Jesus, dude. My bad. Cutie, good morning, man. Good to see you. It's so like we get these rare NFT cutie sightings the past bunch of months, man. I hope you're good. Who is here? And I'm excited for today, guys. RWA, man, I finally took like the deep dive into it because it's getting too big to ignore, and I'm glad I did. It's a brilliant platform. Did I say RWA? FWA, Fake World Assets. This I want to hear about. That I want to hear about, man. But Fake World Assets is looking really, really spicy, like really, really spicy. So we're gonna dive into that this morning. Let me see who's here though. Choina, what's up, man? English, good morning. Let me kick off the abstract. Let me farm some XP over on abstract while we're at it. How we feeling? How we feeling about it? Just all of it. The Iran war is getting hotter. Dude, I always forget I have Pengu tokens sitting over on abstract. You know, you ever sit there and you're just thinking of what you got? What do I got in case I need to sell? And I need some I don't know, some tendies. I always forget I got some Pengu just chilling over there on abstract. Boy, it's worth. Actually, you know what? It's holding up kind of okay. It's where I thought it was. It just kind of hasn't moved. But hey, so the Iran stuff is kind of getting ugly, and it's going to get way uglier, isn't it? It is, man. Tariffs back on. I thought we were done with that. I thought we rounded the corner. I did. I thought we rounded the corner with tariffs, and that was just like we made it to the other side, right? All the money refunded to the companies that charged us. I don't know. Crazy. They got the refunds. We didn't. Crazy. And now tariffs back on. And I think it's like, I mean, I don't know. I like this story, by the way. I thought it was bullshit when I saw that post yesterday. And it's not. I don't think there's tariffs, New Mexico tariffs, but it's just a show. It's getting stupid. Stupid. Ooh, hang on. There's a good post. So the tariff thing isn't past us. The war thing isn't past us. The Clarity Act now isn't past us, and we need to get past it one way or another. What's up, Rocky? Good morning. Oh, hey, has anybody in the past week seen Odyssey? All right, yeah. Who's seen it now, dude? It's so great. I can't fucking stop thinking about that movie. It's that good. Ansem tweeted this morning that he said it's like a top 5 like all-time great movie. I'm kind of there. I'm kind of there. I think it's that good. I think it's like for me a top 10 for sure. Already seen it once. I think it's a top 10 movie for sure. And I'm like, dude, I think it might crack. It could crack the top 5. It's that good. What's up, Gigi? Okay, so Clarity Act. I'll pull up Polymarket here in a second, but back and forth with this thing. It's gonna pass. It's not gonna pass. It's got support. It doesn't. We heard some kind of bullish stuff. I mean, some really bullish stuff, honestly, earlier in the week. That it had the support, and then there was a bit of a hiccup with the Democrats wanting some kind of like ethics, you know, clause or some shit in there, and they got it. And funny thing is, I don't fault the Democrats for not for wanting this first of all, but also for like holding their ground on it. Also, this needs to pass, but again, they wanted the ethics language included in it, ethics package. That's what they call it. And the Republicans delivered, and I think whatever they delivered is probably pretty laughable. But still, this thing has got to pass, and it's got support outside of our government to pass. It does. Um, Fidelity's backing it; they want it. But we got the language. It's a new draft of the Clarity Act. Maybe one day we need to do a stream that's like just Clarity Act deep dive. I need it, but maybe we do that at some point. They get the new draft back, all this new language on their ethics clause provision, whatever they just called it, package, whatever. And I like it. Democrats don't like it, and I think it's all about who's enforcing it. I think that's mostly what it's about, and it's as is not going to pass. Again, I'm going to pull up Polymarket here, but it's not going to pass, and we need it. Terra, $40 billion wiped out when Terra went bye-bye. I want to see this real quick. I was working on an RWA thing. There's some sketchy stuff and unknown regulations, so it should be interesting. Soon people can buy derivatives of the fake thing. Hey, yeah. Crazy, but yeah. I can't wait to see how the RWA thing plays out. And it's cooking on Robinhood. A raccoon knockoff on Robinhood after 1 week. And the Vlad thing, I'll pull that up too. Dude, anybody get got by the Vlad thing? If you didn't see it, Vlad from Robinhood tweeted from his X account that he said, "Hey, before earning, there were some red flags there, but he's like, before earnings, I can't remember the exact wording, but like, yeah, we're embracing meme coins too." And he's like, and so to help with all of this, we've got a mascot now. So he says they got a mascot. He posts a contract address which should have been the biggest red flag. Like, of course they're not going to launch like their own coin. But I saw it. I'll tell you this. I bought it, by the way. I'm such an idiot, dude. I bought it. You know what? Let's do this real quick. Might as well if we're talking about it. It was kind of a big deal. First off, did anybody else get got? Am I the only idiot here that got got? By the way, Jimothy, I kind of want to look at meme coins before we do FWA. Kind of. That Jimothy coin cooked this week. It got up to like 30 mil. I don't know what Ansom's at, but I do want to look at it. And I do think Ansom is like possibly the way for this cycle. Hang on, let me just queue up some stuff. Thread Guy, I fucking love Thread Guy, man. I love that Thread Guy talks about waking up early. But it's fun. But you're laughing at this too, by the way. If you're kind of like me, and 6:30 used to be early, and now it's not early enough, and now you're 4 a.m., 3 a.m. If you're one of them, first off, we're retarded. I think we're wrong for doing that. Also, it's like I love seeing people discover this shit. I love it. I love it, dude. I love seeing people grow up. I love Thread Guy, man. Wait. Jimothy got to 45, man. Oh, dude, I didn't know. That's awesome. Jimothy got to 45 mil. It's at 16 now. And this is where you start questioning stuff, right? Does Jimothy have staying power, or is there going to be another flash in the pan kind of quick thing, right? I don't know. But I would probably roll the dice on Jimothy here. This might be like a second opportunity. It's a cool character, man. Like it's my daughter mentioned it yesterday. Okay, how about this? Okay, guys, important. It just hit me. I think Jimothy's a buy right now, and I think it's a must buy. All right, let me pull it up. I got to tell you why, and there's a big reason. Is it two? Hang on, no. Where's Jimothy? There we go. 17 mil now. Okay, here's the deal, guys. Okay, you know the story, raccoon, short spine, really weird looking little critter, right? My My daughter mentioned him for the first time yesterday. If you guys have been watching this for, you know, a year plus, whatever, my daughter is a signal, right? She's 15 and she, you know, lives on TikTok and all that stuff, right? Like she's gotten me some really, really good calls on memes. Really good. She got me into 6-7 before it was a thing. She got me into something like Sigma. She got me into the knee meme, which never really cooked, but like she got me into some crazy shit. 6-7 was probably I faded 6-7, by the way. But she told me 6-7 before I even knew it was a thing. And then you know what it became. It's like a forever thing now. She is my signal for like, has it like penetrated? Like, you know, has the meme penetrated? Are there more people that can come because they haven't seen the meme yet? I don't think most people have seen Jimothy yet. Even though big brands are tweeting about it, even though we know about it, for us, like a week or two in, it's a week in. It feels like old news for us. I don't think normies know Jimothy yet. My wife doesn't. My daughter just last night, she goes, "Oh, the Jimmy, I saw the Jimothy thing. That's what you were talking about a few days ago, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." She hasn't seen it. I think there's, dude, I think there's so many people who still haven't seen this thing yet. To me, that's a buy. To me, that's a buy signal. She's early on. She's with the rest of people, like with memes, and when you know what I mean. When she sees it, it's my sign. I think Jimothy, just because my daughter hadn't seen it, I think it's a buy, and I'm probably I need to do money where my mouth is today and buy. It looks it, dude. Yeah, I think Jimothy's a buy here. I need to get. I don't think I'm liquid. Hang on, am I liquid on Solana? Hang on, if I'm liquid, I'm gonna I'm gonna buy it right now. Um, and then I want to jump to Vlad, and then we need to jump to FWA. I think that thing is so important. And I'm gonna do a little. I hope Henry's not watching because I'm gonna be real about Dumpster, which I love. I do love it, but it needs something more. I'm not liquid on Solana at all. I'm all in dump. I need to get some Sol and I need to buy some Jimothy. That's I'm making it a call. Jimothy's a buy here at 16, at 17. It's a buy. And I think big time. It is. I celebrate internally if I can sleep to my 4 a.m. alarm. When do you go to bed, Choina? Do you guys, like a lot of us are similar age, when you sleep, do you feel it more? Like, do you feel like your muscles more and your bones and shit? Do you feel like when you're like sleeping on your side, like it hurts your shoulder? Like are we getting to the point where like when you sleep, you can't have comfortable sleep? Dude, I'm starting to wonder if I'm getting there. And also, I don't know if that's just because I'm a piece of shit. I don't know. But my mom told me a few weeks back, she told me you don't sleep much when you get older. She's like 70. You don't sleep when you get older, just like you just don't. I just assume because you wake up a lot and whatever. I think it might be that kind of stuff, dude. So fuck you, man. I love you, English. Well, actually, I don't know what you were talking about. I think you were talking about the piece of shit thing, but I don't know. China, you make me feel better at least, man. Because like, yeah, I figured. I know you well. What I feel also I feel like a piece of shit that I can't make it past 8. I can and I don't want to. And the things that get me excited enough to keep me up till 8 or 9 or 10, I hate, like a game or something. I hate that, man. Um Hoods, how old are you, man? I don't think I know how old you are, but the physical stuff has started, you know? Joven, good to see you, dude. I'm not in FWA, by the way. FWA, I think, is a thing I'm probably gonna watch from the sidelines, and I'll probably watch it from the sidelines with no regrets. You know, I think it's gonna be a monster. I think it's gonna be a monster. It's so good. I just, yeah, I don't know, but I could be convinced to play it. I could. It's really good. Oh, Hoods, brother, I gotta tell you, I mean, obvious stuff. It gets way worse. I don't remember having aches or anything like that at 30 until I was like right when I crossed over 40, 41 ish, maybe 42. And it's only like the past year or two I've really felt it. So that's why I've started getting like extra healthy the past like 3 months, like extra healthy. I eat very clean now, like very clean. English, you would be proud, dude. I eat really clean, at least 10K steps a day. And I've missed like 2 days in the past 3 months. And just in the past week, I started lifting again. So getting like, because I realized, dude, if you don't do it, you're gonna lose it, and you got nothing to lose. So like, you better get some gains here over the next decade, just so you got something to lose. When I get up to 60, or whatever. Damn man, 40's a weird number. I think when I hit 40, it kind of it didn't fuck with my head, but it definitely was a milestone. When I hit 40, dude, is when I'm like, "Oh, you better step on the gas, man. You got 20 good prime-ish years, still past prime, but you got 20 good years left where you can do something that you wanna do and do it well, right?" And 40 kicked me into a different gear, like, motivation-wise and, hungry because I like, again, at 40, you're like 20 years off is 60, and after that, who knows? And who knows even now, but 40 was a weird time, man. It's true, man. Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much this. English, my hack now for hitting my goal, my calories goal? Walnuts, dude. Walnuts are fucking incredible. Because I don't like eating, and sometimes, like, and I've got my day all planned out, and some days I just don't like, I don't love eating, so, yeah, walnuts are my hack, dude. They're awesome. As long as I hit my protein and I've got everything pretty close, like, walnuts get me over that line. Love them. Where were we? Anyway, Jimothy's a buy. The Back to the Vlad thing real quick. So Vlad, actually, let's peek at Ansem. Um, Vlad tweeted out a CA, man. Yeah, dude. You know what I found an almond. This is such a boomer stream, man. I found a recipe for almonds. I was looking up some recipes for walnuts and almonds. Dude, egg whites, whip them up, like whip them up. And then you toss the almonds in the egg white. I think you throw rosemary on it and just bake them so they get like a little crunchy shell on the outside. Sounds amazing, man. But yeah, walnuts are like, yeah. I got to find other foods like that, right? Like small portion things that are like nutritious and like a bunch of calories. I need to find more of that. But again, if I hit my protein for the day and enough carbs, enough everything, walnuts are perfect, dude. 20. That's awesome, man. There you go. I would do that. That's awesome, CJ. See, that sounds good. My breakfast isn't perfect, dude. Oh, you know what? I gotta get your plan because I think English is dialed in. If you guys don't know, English is super dialed in. My breakfast, it's oatmeal, Greek yogurt with collagen in it, a banana, and that's my baseline. I feel like there was something else there, but I think that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oatmeal, Greek yogurt, collagen, which I'm definitely starting to notice working, or I think it is, or I'm just drinking more water. But I like the breakfast part. It's great. And then lunch, dinner, I just made the same thing: chicken, rice, peas. That's it. And then I've got protein shakes. Um, but I can eat the same meal I can eat the same thing for every meal because I don't care. I don't like eating. So I can just do meal prep this week, rotisserie chicken, pull it apart, weigh it up. Rice, same thing. Um, Chona, you me or you English? It's a perfect breakfast, man. I either do bananas or blueberries, couple blueberries, which I prefer. Oh, damn, dude. Or how tall are you, English man? Because like I think my goal is right around like 1,900 calories. I'm small. Me, yeah, dude, it's great breakfast. Breakfast. And I get on the treadmill probably 5 to 10 times a day right now. I love it. I feel so good. The past 3 months is the best I've felt. I'm taller than you, English. What the fuck? Okay. I'm like an inch and a half taller than you, and we weigh. I don't know what I weigh. I think 141 right now. Dude, blueberries are the best. Dude, yeah. I see the pictures of English. I get the pictures. Dude looks good. Dude looks good. I need to get eggs in the mix too. I need to get some eggs in the mix, and I don't know. I'm pretty good just keeping it simple though. Buy rotisserie chicken, just rip it apart, portion everything out, good for 2 days. Um, I feel I'm telling you, dude, the best I've felt in months. And then the only supplements I'm taking is stuff that that Min Dynasty dude. He just he had a tweet. I'm taking collagen because of him. He tweeted out his stack, right? His stack. I take D3, K2, zinc, some B vitamins and collagen. And again, that's it. It's simple. And I love it. I only started here's gonna be the challenge guy. Well, the challenge, whatever. It's not a challenge. Um, you're gonna notice a difference on me in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, you'll see a difference on me. You will, because I gain really fast when I lift, and I always see it in the 4th week. After 4 weeks, I always see it. I get big quick because I'm like all atrophied from sitting for years. It's just how it works with me. So we'll see if because I'm older, it doesn't show, but it's different. But you know, beard's coming down. It's getting too much, dude. Actually, I gotta get it in. I gotta get that in soon. Dude, I got my passport this week. I've never had a passport, but I got my passport. I'm heading to can't remember if I told you guys. Was gonna be Hong Kong. Now it's gonna be London. It's gone back and forth a few times, but doing that in a couple of weeks, which will be cool. And again, I'll do a stream while I'm out there too, and we'll have some people that you'll probably know. I hope. Should be cool. Should be cool. Dude, it's so cool. I feel like a grown up. It took 13 days total from going to the post office, applying, getting the photo, all that, um, to getting it back. 13 days. It was what, $150 total? That was to expedite it too. If I didn't expedite it, $50, dude, awesome. D3. There we go. I got the D3K2. I got that. I don't have the magnesium, so I might throw that in the mix. Oh, dude, you know what? I'm gonna hit up Peter and Carlini, and I want to see if they'll meet up. Dude, I have so many buddies in the UK that I want to meet. Right? Like, I think Confusion is from there. I think English, couple guys that we know. Mr. C is out there. Lemon, are you out there? I don't. I think Lemon maybe. But I've never. I've been to Canada. I've been to Mexico, but I've never been. Outside of this continent. Um, CJ, it's good to see you, man. Oh, interesting. You know what? I always take it in the morning. I always take that stuff at breakfast, but I never feel nothing can keep me up at night. Kratom can actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. Speaking of Kratom, because I throttled back on it, I have to get totally off Kratom, right? You can't, it's not legal in the UK, and I shouldn't chance that, right? So I'm gonna have to, I'm next week, full throttle cold turkey withdrawals. Not looking forward to that. The Kratom's that's gonna be rough. Next week's gonna be rough, and I should probably start getting way down this week. But you'll see. I'm gonna pull in like a month from right now. I'm gonna pull a before. We'll do it on the stream, but a before after. We'll look at maybe like 2 weeks ago. We'll look at a stream of me 2 weeks ago, and then me in 4-ish weeks. You'll see the difference on me that quick, and it's usually pretty noticeable. So I can't wait. I don't know. It'll be fun. You are there, Lemon. Is that stuff real? My buddy was telling me, how awful it's going to be out there, and I'm like, I don't think it's that bad. Yeah, yeah, it's also not a bad idea. All right, but yeah, dude, again, real fast. I couldn't believe how fast it was. I thought I wouldn't get it in time to make the trip, and got it, got it. Okay. I want to pull up. I gotta get through the meme coin stuff. Where is Ansem? Where is Ansem? Boom. Okay, Jimothy's at 16. Again, I think that's a big buy. Also, not going to be surprised to see that lower, but I don't know, man. Yeah, yeah. That seems like the take. Where's Ansem? There it is. 168 mil. That's probably, I mean, man, that's probably a buy too, right? Only because they control so much supply. And if you think this market is picking up some steam, and most people kind of are there, right? Um, dude's got just such a big platform and such big reach and such. It's Ansem. I don't know. I still see that as I still see that as like maybe the coin of the cycle. Like, right, Jimothy's not. Then again, we will have another mood ding, right? Yeah, like not to get into all that, but I like that play, man. I think Ansem's going to a bill. I do. If this market gets silly again, and I think it's going to, Ansem's going to a bill. Like Jimothy, no, but also I think meme coins. I think it's all coming back, which sucks. That's a trap, but I do. I think it's all coming back, and we'll have a new mood ding, and we'll have a new, like we'll have that. It could be Jimothy. Musty, good morning, man. So I like that. But back to Vlad, and I'm glad TG found his early morning is great. But yeah, I'll read this real quick. I've been waking up at 6:30 for the last 3. You know what? Let's hear his voice. I love the guy. Think I think Thread Guy's the GOAT. I do. He's just fucking excellent. Is this not a video? It is a video. Okay. Hang on. Why do I have no audio? I think my tab's muted. Yeah, that was it. All right, and FWA in just a quick second. You have no sound? You have no for real? Hang on. Do you guys have sound now? Maybe I'll skip if you guys tell me no sound. No, what the fuck? Yeah, it's just as good. How about now?
The human experience was conditioned. Dr. Matty was good. The human experience was conditioned to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. Like I feel like you're supposed to go to sleep when it
That should have sound now, right? Yeah. Okay.
gets dark out. You're supposed to wake up when it gets light out. Like I think this is like how it's supposed to go. I don't know. I read this thing the other day about like artificial light on your phone, like ruined the human cognition experience. But I don't know. It is what it is. Anyone here on the West Coast, you're a real one if you are. You're super real one if you are, and I appreciate you being here. Spending 20 minutes in the sun every morning is the greatest life hack I've ever experienced. I have terrible, terrible, terrible news to tell you that looking at the sun before your phone in the morning is an improvement on your life. Horrific news, I hate to hear it. Really sucks. Terrible news. Wish it wasn't true. Unfortunately, it is true, and it is what it is.
So I like that because like it's like with my son. There's a difference when you tell somebody younger, like you like seeing the younger guys like get it right. How do you not fucking love that? I love it. That's like the boomer in me. Like I love seeing young people get it, and I always hope they get it earlier than I got it. Right? I figured out stuff. The little I figured out way too late. So it's like when I tell my son something, I'm like, "Hey, dude, okay, I know you think this or you're doing this, but you should do this because you tell him and it doesn't click." And you just love to see him. I love when I see my son come around to something. He's like, "Hey, dude, I started doing this," and he's like, "I should have listened when you told me that." I love that. So I love seeing Thread Guy talking about like the early thing and how good it is, man. Because he's heard it, but you start doing it and you start feeling like the benefits of it. Different thing. Love to see it. If you sleep when it's sunset and get up at sunrise, you sleep more in the winter. Technically, I guess, yeah. They don't, dude. I realized that too very recently with my son. Musty. Like there's my son has made like he's awesome, dude, but he's made so much progress the past year, especially being out of college. And Musty, dude, yeah, just how it goes. And I'm like, dude, you know what? Just it's been a good reminder. He'll if you train them to be like smart as best you can, they'll figure it out. They will. Like what you tell them matters. So maybe it helps that you tell them something and then they see it in real life and then the dots connect way faster, It is cool though. So yeah, I love seeing this with Thread Guy. He's awesome. He's reached like a fraction of his potential here, The dude's great. So damn, dude, back to the Vlad thing. Where did I need to get off this and get to FWA? Where's Vlad? So again, the TLDR. Vlad posts that they got a mascot now. Right, just because they're embracing meme coins. That was it. It's not like he said, I don't know, that was like the extent of it, but he dropped a CA in the tweet. Should have been a big red flag. Wasn't for a lot of people. It just wasn't, which is crazy. $13.5 million in volume. This was just within a few hours of the tweet. I think. It was pretty wild. I bought it like a fucking rookie. Would love to do that, man. Yeah, gardening's awesome. Dude, I grew up, we always had a garden when I was a kid. My mom kept a garden and she had all these big squared things and we each just weed them and take care. I love that, dude. I love gardening. When I lived in Vermont, we had a plot in the community garden. Love that stuff. Loved it. Loved it. Hope camera okay now. Should be okay. Yeah, gardening is awesome. Good. So I see the tweet and it was only 30 minutes old. And I look at the coin and it's at a 3 mil market cap, the Vlad coin. And I'm like, oh, come on, dude. I'm like, no way, it's only got 250,000 views. And before doing any research, before doing anything, I run to OpenSea. I try to buy the coin. I realize I have no ETH on Robinhood chain, which I'm not sure if I would need it. I don't know if you need it. It might pull from your Ethereum, wallet, or it might be free to trade. I think it might, but either way, like I think I couldn't get the trade to go through. Maybe it was for other reasons too, right? Because again, I don't know if you need it, but I ended up swapping or bridging. Finally, I couldn't figure out how to do this before. It's very easy on OpenSea. I ended up bridging ETH to Robinhood chain, and then I swapped the ETH for some tokens, and I didn't spend much. Well, no, I take that back. It's not a lot, by the way, but it was more than I should have done. I swapped, I think, like $300 at first, so $300 worth of ETH for the Vlad token. Does it show here? How's my DIA? Yeah, not good. I tried to buy a coin on virtuals earlier in the week too. Ended up just getting ETH for virtual swapped, but I didn't make a swap for the other coin, which I'm glad. Swapped 300 into the Vlad token, and I'm like, I'm just sitting there looking at it. I'm like, dude, this is as close to like an official Robinhood coin as you can get. It just started. It's 3 mil. Like with how those coins have been running, I'm like, this should be a $50 million coin or 30 or whatever. Anyway, I bought more, another $300 worth. And I dropped it in a group chat. I'm like, guys, is this an all-in play? I'm glad I did that because it might have saved me from going way harder at it. So I go, is this an all-in play, dude? And first reply was, I think that's a scam. And so I ran to Wall Street Kongs, which should have been my first stop. I should have jumped there first. And I searched Vlad, right? And the only person who was talking about it had mentioned it, 20 minutes earlier and said it's probably a scam, right? He said his account's probably compromised. And then it hit me, man. I'm like, dude, of course it's compromised. Like, why didn't I even think of that? Like, of course it is. Like, that dude is not going to tweet out a contract address. He's just not. So I go and I look at the tweet again. Boom, community notes on it. Wasn't there before when I bought, but community notes on it saying his account's compromised or likely compromised or whatever. I'm like, fuck. Race back to OpenSea. Try to swap back for the coin from the coin, swap back to ETH, and I couldn't. I can't remember if the page like disappeared. I think that was it at first. But then at the same time, Robinhood Chain was having issues too. Right. So I'm hearing from a buddy Robinhood Chain is like not down, but not working. And I can't swap back. I'm like, fuck, I got. I'm stuck in this coin. I couldn't swap it on OpenSea. I kept getting this like connection error. It was weird. So I'm like, fuck it. Let me try swapping in MetaMask. Try swapping while the coin disappears. And on OpenSea, the coin disappeared, right? Like it doesn't show here in my list of tokens. Like unless I'm retarded. And at this point I have swapped out, but it didn't show in my list of tokens. I should have like the tiniest bit left here. Actually, does it show? Couldn't swap on OpenSea, couldn't swap on MetaMask, couldn't swap on Uniswap. All of them were giving me some weird connection error. Long story short, deleted the RPC like that I had set up in MetaMask. And when I was doing it, I noticed like it was weird, right? So I don't know what that was. Just put in the official RPC like info. Then I could connect, and then I swapped out. And in the end, lost like $20, which is awesome. Could have been way worse. I don't even know what that coin is at now. Actually, let's peek. That, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, that's it. That should be it. No, is that a new one? No, that's it. I think it is. By the way, I don't like how OpenSea scrolls. It's weird. You know what? Can I turn that off? Yeah, there we go. That should be the coin. Yeah, there's where I sold. Does it show where I bought? So I probably bought. It was pretty close. It was in like an hour window. So I probably bought it right around here. Yeah, a little higher. Anyway, boy, I could have got wrecked. I was very, very close to like kind of all in, like a much bigger play. And it's just from being stupid and being greedy. It was just being greedy, man. Can't chase stuff. Got to be okay with missing stuff. That was my big takeaway. You have to be okay with missing stuff. And you need to know what you're buying when you buy it. I can't believe I did it. Like as soon as somebody told me it was like compromised account, I'm like, duh, dude, of course it is. Like how stupid. But again, a lot of people got wrecked here. And my other takeaway was that there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines with a lot of money who just need to be focused on one thing. And that one thing will explode when it happens. And it's going to happen. Like it's going to happen this year. If not this year, sometime next year, it's going to happen. In this cycle too, this upcoming cycle, like it's going to happen here. Something is going to go crazy. I'm talking like what Ansem did, but bigger. We're going to get a coin that goes to like a few bill. We are. And boy, I don't want to miss it. Oh, there's the tweet. Let me pull it up.
Tried to trade it. I lost. So Vlad yesterday got hacked right here. The block shares it. Robinhood CEO Vlad 10 of his X account appears to have.
Okay. When he said that, I thought they shared his initial like post with the CA. That would have been way worse. That wasn't
hacked. And is promoting a purported official meme coin called Vladhood. The hacker's an idiot, but granted, the hacker made $1.2 million off this. When I saw this.
Anyway, that's it. Crazy. A lot of money out there wanting and able to play. And gents, we will be playing soon. And by the way, there's a lot of plays right now. There's a lot of plays right now. One of those plays is on Ethereum. It is FWA, fake world assets. It's incredible. I'm telling you, dudes, it's incredible. It's a brilliant platform. It's a brilliant like fee structure. Everything about it. You know, this is why I encourage Henry to keep doing things, like keep putting stuff out, keep doing more things, because like Token Works, the thing you put out might not be it, but the next thing might be. And if that's not it, the thing after it might be. And keep doing stuff, because one of those things might be it. And you're only going to find it if you keep doing things. And so Token Works, like starting with Punkster, was it for a minute? Is it in the long run? I think it's going to have its moments, right? But 10,000 tokens kind of wasn't it. Might have its time in the spotlight again, but it wasn't it. Then it comes out with that fake world assets, and when it first dropped before it got compromised, it's like, might not work, might not be anything too flashy. I didn't get it back then, by the way, at all. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the mechanics of how it works and how you play it. Does anybody here know it, by the way? I'm kind of curious who here knows how FWA works and who doesn't at all. Like, you're going to learn about it now. Because didn't know. And since last night, I get it. And now it's got to settle, so I like fully understand it. But what I get of it, it's brilliant. Brilliant platform. Ethereum's looking interesting too, right? Like Adam, the guy behind it, said he's going to bring back Ethereum or save Ethereum. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. It might. Join it for real, dude. Interesting. Okay, this is good to know. This is good to know. Because it's got a ton of upside, because people, I think, are mostly like me, hadn't heard of it, or if you heard of it, you saw it, and you're like, I don't get it, so I'm not going to play it. I think there's a lot of people like me. ETH is sounding, ETH is sounding kind of bullish right now. It is. I just had to peek at token prices. You know, nothing crazy right now, and I don't trust a lot right now, but whatever. So fake world assets, first off, brilliant. Mando's correct here. Both are correct. Tyler's correct. Mando's correct. FWA is the most exciting thing happening on chain right now, and I'm not sure it's even close. I wish Dumpster were in that conversation. It's in the conversation. It will be much more when they put that Dumpster Fire live, but it's not what this is. If there's a competition, sorry, Kongs, you know I'm a Kong. You know I bleed Kongs too. But if there's a competition, and if they kept leapfrogging each other, you know, Atom Kongs or Token Works Kongs, and it felt like for a minute maybe Kongs had the edge. I don't know right now. No, I do know right now. FWA is it. And I think the Dumpster thing needs to integrate. They need to rip this off on Solana. They have to. I think they have to, and they should do it. FWA, the most fun thing happening on chain right now. Agreed. Mando, the sooner you realize people are here to gamble, the question becomes, who are creating the best and most fair games? And by best, it's most rewarding. What's the best game out there that allows you to win big with a click? Because that's what people want. They don't want to put time in. They don't want to play games. They want to click and make thousands of dollars. Or they want to be able to like click to get exposure to a thing and sit for a week and see their bag 50x. Like that's what they want. It has to be your thing you build. If you want to be like that thing, has to be extreme, right? Like it can't be like again, love Dumpster Fire or love the like all the dumpster stuff, right? I don't think I even have to preface that, right, or say that, but like it's not extreme enough. It's just not, and it's awesome, but it's not that. It's not. It's not. Wait do you see what this is? Since this launched, and this was as of yesterday, there's an update this morning I'm going to show, but 35,000 purchases, 2,000 ETH in volume, 1,800 NFTs traded, 600 ETH backing it all, and I'll explain what each of that means. Hang on. Shit. I had a post. Well, hang on. Let me pull up Adam's account. Or no, TokenWorks has it. Update. 50,000 purchases. This is in a day. Now 4,200 ETH in volume. 2,900 NFTs. and now backed more than double the ETH backing this stuff. 1,400 ETH backing it. So like monster numbers. Let's pull up the FWA token. I'm going to explain exactly how it works too. Like super important how it works. And when we go through it, you'll be like, oh, it is brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Here's FWA, 28 mil market cap. You can't buy it on a DEX. Can't buy it. Part of what makes it so brilliant, you can't buy it. The only way you can get the token is by using the protocol. That's it. It's brilliant. It's so fucking cool. So you can't buy it. And like, so then you're like, I don't want to click to play the protocol because I don't understand it. So I'll just watch it. And you're like, when you start, there's a couple layers to this thing. When I went the next layer deep to see how does it even work, and I saw you have to put up ETH and an NFT, and you can lose one or the other. I'm like, well, why would I want to risk it for a token? And then when you start really getting into the thing, you're like, well, shit. Now I get why people are doing it. And I especially get it when you were early, you would do it. But again, from Adam Rhinotic, who's just legit. And it's taken like the whole NFT market up with it. Everything green. Let me pull up floor prices. But the whole market up with it, because when we get to like what NFTs you put up and what happens with them, it's because that's how you get the FWA token. So if you want FWA token, you have to stake an NFT. I think, and I hope somebody here knows enough about it, they can tell me where I'm wrong on stuff. But you have to put up an NFT. So you're looking for, I think, the cheapest collection that's like eligible for the platform, the cheapest token you can get. I think that might affect what it costs to roll the dice too. I think. I'm not playing at Moonship. I'm tempted to, but I don't think I'm gonna. Look at 10,000 tokens. They're not up because they're making money from the protocol. They're up because people are staking them in the platform. Whirly Girl, what's up, man? I wasn't that interested until I really dove in, and now I'm like, fuck. I'm real interested now. Like, I'm probably still not gonna play it, but I'm very interested now because it's so cool. I got NFTs, but I don't want to put, you know what? I wouldn't be against putting up my Nakamigo. You could, by the way, when you put up an NFT, you can lose your NFT. That's why, like, you lose your NFT or you lose the ETH you put up against it. What happens, again, we'll dive in. What happens because you put them up is you earn platform fees. So think of 10,000 tokens where like you owning a token means you earn some of the fees, right? It's the same thing here. You earn the platform fees, and I think you earn it in the FWA token by putting up the ETH and NFTs. So this is a part, Whirly Girl, this is the biggest thing I have to unlock. Why somebody would put up a punk. And I know parts of why. One, because when you put up a whole bunch of ETH, it's harder to lose your NFT. What I thought before is if you want to put more money up or ETH into the protocol, I thought that if you want to do that, because the more you put in, I think the more fees you get. I think that's how it works. I thought you need to put an expensive NFT up for the other side of the ETH. So if you want to put in 30 ETH, you got to put up NFTs worth like 30 ETH. I thought that's how it works, but I don't think that's the case, because I think the top guy who staked on the platform put up a 10,000 tokens NFT with like 80 ETH against that. So I don't totally understand that part of why you'd put a punk up there. But I think it has to do with because you earn more fees somewhere in there. And that's where I'm at, where I get the mechanics, but I don't get like the finer details like that yet. Actually, let me see. There's somebody who I know knows this well. I want to see if he's around to answer that question. That's kind of where I'm at though. But the mechanic's cool. I don't know, Moonship. Again, the biggest reason is I don't think I earn enough FWA, and I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I don't think I earn enough to like fucking like have it matter, right? I'm not sure. If you're putting up stuff, it's because you're trying to earn fees. And like something little, I don't care. You don't have to put that up to play the protocol, right? I think that's the case too. I think you can just spin the wheel if you want whenever. I don't think you have to put stuff up. I could be wrong there. And if I'm wrong, that helps, like the case here. You'd have to earn a lot of fees to offset the risk of losing the punk. Yes. And Whirly Girl, that's why for the early guys, it made sense. They earned a lot of fees. So here's an example. This guy put up a crypto punk in 66 ETH. And in 2 days, he's made almost 40 ETH in rewards. So at this point, he can just exit. He can exit in 2 days, keeps his punk, keeps his ETH, made almost 40 ETH. So that's the whole reason right there. How long does that continue? This is where, again, when I sit and let it marinate for a while, that'll help me figure out how long this thing can last, right? Or how much more volume it can bring in. Because if it can bring in the volume and it's still a percentage every day, goes daily, every day a certain percent, the 1% or however much goes to the people who have things staked on the platform. So if you believe this goes on for a long time, or you believe volume comes in a big way, that's why you put up big money. I still don't get. I get putting up big ETH. I don't get putting up big NFT. That's what I don't get yet. Unless that affects the tier of NFT you can hit, or it's like a multiplier when you're spinning the thing. I've got to figure that part out. We're going to look into the white paper and see, though. Somebody hit a Mask of Lucy. When you play this thing, you can play like the minimum roll, right? It might just be a flat fee. I'm again, not sure. But you can put in like a, whatever the floor is on a roll, and you can hit a Mask of Lucy, and you can hit a CryptoPunk, and this dude hit a CryptoPunk for like the minimum roll. And there's like some lore behind this too, right? This guy, so interesting, man. This platform was out prior to 4 days ago. There was a bug in this, in like the contract. Somebody was able to basically steal a CryptoPunk. It was this guy's punk that got stolen. So like Adam made him whole. Adam gave him a CryptoPunk. So he's like even. And just like by chance, he happened to hit a CryptoPunk on the protocol, the first CryptoPunk to get got from the from the game. And what he did is, instead of keeping the punk, and this is one of your options when you hit, you have the option of keeping the punk or taking the ETH for it instead. It's like 85% the value of it. What that is, when the guy staked the CryptoPunk, he also had to put up the ETH to back it, right? And that's because it gives you the winner the option. You can either take that person's punk or you can take the ETH he put against it, one or the other. And that's just if something's not liquid, you can get liquid like right away. Or you can, this is kind of cool. You have a third option. You can take the reward in the FWA token. So if you believe the FWA token is more upside than either of those things, more upside than the punk, more upside than the ETH, then you take the FWA token. And that's what that guy did. He took all that. So like 30-ish ETH worth of FWA token. And at this point, he'd be, he took it at like 7 or 8 mil. And now it's a $30 million coin. So he like 4x'd it. So he kind of got 4 CryptoPunks out of that hit. The mechanics here are so cool. They're so fucking cool. It's a brilliant platform. So yeah, this would get really interesting. I wonder if somebody can set up like an LP, but you can't buy it outside. You have to play the protocol to get the FWA tokens. So I think the only reason you're staking, putting up the NFT or the ETH is if you want to earn FWA. Or in this part, I don't know, if you have to do it to spin the thing. It wouldn't make sense to me that you have to put it up to play the things, but I don't know. So super interesting. I also don't know if there's a lot I don't know, I guess. I don't know if you have to spend FWA to spin the wheel too, or if you can spend ETH. Smart. Yeah, let me do that actually. Yeah, putting up the NFTs is how you farm the token. Okay. So this is where it gets interesting for floor prices on things like the 10,000 tokens or whatever. If a collection's eligible to be put in here, now it's fair game to farm the FWA token. And I assume it's like when you stake them, it's part of your daily rewards. You get rewarded in FWA. but Wolfgame was the cheapest. It went from 0.059, no, 0.062 here. Not up a crazy amount, right? Am I reading that wrong? 0.059, yeah. But hey, up. Yeah, hang on. Let me get the white paper. I hate when it's like on a page, each one's a page. I can just send ChatGPT the site, right? Yeah, I don't think they have it downloadable. Let's try. Dude, it's so cool though. So fucking cool. Okay. I'll keep going. I'm going to throw this into ChatGPT. All right, let's see. By the way, there's like a 10-minute video of a guy walking through it. We might watch that. I don't think. Yeah, good shout. All right, I'll pull that up in a minute. Okay, how it works. To spin, it's 0.15 ETH. I think that changes though, right? I think the price to play the thing shifts either as FWA goes up or based on something else, right? So yeah, I wish this showed without connecting my wallet what it costs to spin. Let's assume that. Yeah, okay, I'll go by this. Yeah, I'll go by this. Yeah, it's 0.15-ish. I think we'll just go by that though. 0.15 ETH to spin the thing. I don't think you have to be staked or anything to spin it. You can just spin whenever. I don't know if I think you always hit, right? I don't think you ever spin and get nothing. But you definitely can lose. Like I think you can, right? If you spend 0.15 and you get, a 10,000 token, which I'm guessing is one of the most common things in there. 10,000 token that's worth, what was the floor? 0.06. So you can lose like, half or, you know, 3/4 or whatever, 2/3 even of what you put in, you can. It's gambling, just like when you stake your NFT and put up your ETH to farm FWA, you can lose your NFT. You literally can lose your NFT. If you put up a CryptoPunk in 30 ETH, you may check the site again in an hour and your CryptoPunk's gone. Or you check the site again and your ETH is gone. If the person opted for the ETH instead, maybe they opt for none, they get the FWA token. At that point, though, I don't know what happens if the person loses some ETH to cover. I don't know. Like, it's a gamble. If you're putting something up to farm this thing, you're taking on some risk. The more expensive your NFT, or I think it might have to do with the amount of money you're backing it with, the harder it is for somebody to land on your NFT, right? Like the odds to hit it get lower and lower and lower and lower. And I think that's what it is. I think you can put up a $1 NFT, but if you put $100,000 behind it, I think the odds of hitting your NFT are pretty much nothing, right? So I think that's how it works. The more you put up to back your NFT, the less likely it is to be lost. So whoever put up, I gotta find it, but the guy who put up the 10,000 tokens NFT with like 80 ETH, did it to make sure he didn't lose a good NFT, but also if he loses his NFT, he's not losing much. Also, actually, does that mean if somebody hits that NFT, they only take the value of what that NFT was out of his ETH? So he's not going to lose much ETH? That would kind of break this thing, I think. So it's got to reward you based on how the odds of hitting the NFT, I think. Yeah. Don't know. Let me see what ChatGPT's got so far. Okay, so it reads it all. Okay. Okay, hang on, let's pull this up. Okay. Explain how putting up an NFT and ETH works. Yeah, okay, so Blocks explains this part here too. Why are people spending 0.15 ETH? So why are they spinning the wheel to get a 0.07 ETH NFT? So if you're hitting the floor NFTs, worth 0.06, 0.07, why are you doing it? Market's saying even if you lose 0.08 ETH, when you spin it, do you earn FWA? That could be. That's interesting. If every time you click to spin the wheel, you earn FWA token, that could make sense. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. For each day of the first 15 days, 1% of the FWA token is distributed to purchasers. Okay, so you earn FWA token by playing the protocol. So you're just going to sit here and spin the wheel just to farm FWA. If you think that coin's going higher, that's what Blocks was saying. You're going to take that hit on the reward side because you think you make up for it with the FWA token. Even if you break, even if you lose a little, it's worth it there because all the while you're playing the lottery where you might hit a CryptoPunk. So there's almost like a safety net there. If you hit the CryptoPunk, you don't care about the FWA token. You won. If you break even, well, and you don't win anything big, you won because you didn't lose anything big. If you don't hit the CryptoPunk and FWA goes to 100 mil, you won there too. So this is actually like a safer bet. It's gambling. It's not a safe, thing, but it's a pretty damn spicy bet still, I think, even here, considering none of us are in it yet. None of us. I think none of us are. Depositors can claim FWA whenever they want. So that's one of the things helps us understand why you deposit. So you put up the ETH, you put up the NFT, you can claim FWA whenever. If you're a purchaser, so you're not staking an NFT or anything, you're just spinning the wheel, every day you get a claim. It's feeling pretty interesting. I still will say NFTs feel like they're in a phenomenal spot. As low as they are, phenomenal spot. Here is somebody. Let me see what this guy's put up. Maybe it shows it. This dude's earned 0.37 ETH. Has earned a little over 500,000 FWA tokens. You can list your NFTs there too, like a marketplace. Earn 300,000 FWA tokens. Acquisition side. So this is somebody who that it would show there if you like hit an NFT and chose the FWA instead. And then daily reward too. 1,200 FWA. Okay. But how much did this person put up? This person has spun the wheel 83 times. What have they staked? This person spent 2.4 ETH. Nobody ever shows this side of it, though, what people have sunk into it. He spent 2.4 ETH. I don't know what, I don't know what 900,000 FWA is worth right now. And I don't know what NFTs he's had to put up, what kind of risk he's taken there. But I wonder if that includes what he's staked. If he's got an NFT staked, has, 2 ETH backing it, that I'm not sure. It's a really fucking interesting platform. It really is. This is a great article. We're going to dive into that too. But where it gets really interesting is, okay, it's such a bigger deal. It really is. Jack Butcher launched a brand new collection in here. And so, like, first off, forget the fact that it's another Jack Butcher collection. Like, cool. When you start thinking the idea is not just to like have this secondary play on NFTs or, hope to hit ETH, but that it's a way that like a creator can distribute a new project and it's curated, right? So it's not like it's going to get spammed and full of like all kinds of junk, which it would if it was open, right? But that he's going to curate what NFTs are even allowed in it. So he can have a Jack Butcher kind of guy come in and drop a brand new collection that like think of like the gameplay and the attention that you can drag on forever this way. Brand new collection, the only way you can get it is by randomly hitting one in this machine. How cool is that? And then those instantly, right? You buy it here, you hit it here, you can go probably flip it on OpenSea for a good amount. It's incredible. What's up, Atari? It's incredible, man. So this article's awesome. It's pretty long, but we might just go through the whole thing because it's not that bad, actually. It's got some really good points, man. Really good points. It's an awesome protocol. So he breaks into he dives into like collector's crypt and like the kind of revenue they were earning. But talking about how when you play, Atari asks questions because we've got it like we're 80% of the way there, having it like figured out. There's like some little details that we're gonna figure out with ChatGPT here. But we've got like the gist of it here. But yeah, like what's so interesting is when you want to play a gotcha thing, right? You're spending money hoping to hit a rare thing that you can sell, right? That's how you play them, and it's the only way you play them. But you already know that it is the house making the money on it, right? They've got the rare cards. They're setting the price. They're setting the odds. All that. They're making the money on it. This is the first time, in a way, I think that you actually share in the platform success, which is like the dream of crypto. That was always the dream. If you participate early, if you back it early, man, whatever you put up grows along with the platform. The dream of crypto just is. If somebody wins your NFT, they choose whether they take the NFT or 85% of the value. Does the depositor? Yes. Yeah, Whirly Girl, it's exactly that. That's why when you put up an NFT, you have to put up the 85% of its value in ETH, because then the person who hits it gets the choice. So they might take your ETH, and in that case, good, your NFT is safe, right? If you didn't care about the NFT and they pick that, then good, my ETH is safe. I just lost an NFT I don't care about. Yeah, but the person who lands it gets that choice, one or the other, or that third option, they can get it in FWA. And in that case, you lose nothing, but somebody's got to lose. So I don't know if it's the platform that's like a perk right now. Early on, you earn token while it's early, and maybe they don't offer that later. You earn all the fees, not of that spin for your NFT. You earn the fees. I could be wrong there. I don't think you earn fees on that spin. I think you're just sharing in the platform, the daily platform fees. I think that's what you're earning. So in a way, like Dumpster, right? The volume gets turned into fees in a way and distributed randomly. Well, this isn't random. It's, it's like 10,000 tokens, right? There's a percentage that if you're staked, based on your percentage of the total stake that you earn. So huge risk, depends on how much you make in fees. And that's it. That's the risk. Are you willing to gamble your nice NFT or your big pile of ETH? Are you willing to gamble it for unknown rewards, a percentage of the platform rewards? Well, so is it worth it? And we go back to this example. The guy who put up 66 ETH. And really, I don't know if you had to put up 66. I don't know if it was a rare punk or if it was a floor and he just put more ETH up. That could have been it, but that guy in 2 days earned, 38 ETH. 38 ETH. You don't need to stake anything to play the game. If you want to stake, you're staking to earn FWA tokens daily. So yeah, so here's that shot. ETH rewards. That's from having your NFT staked, right? Okay, what we're looking for is, let's see. To play the game, you don't need anything. You just got to spend ETH and I'll have to ask ChatGPT. I don't know if you have to spend the FWA token to roll it or if you spend ETH to roll it. For someone to be doubling their money, someone has to be losing. Yeah, it's all the people who are rolling, who are pulling the lever for 0.15 ETH and getting an NFT worth 0.07 or, cheaper at the time or whatever, right? I think it's that. And I think it's why a lot of rewards are in FWA, which, in theory, it's not backed by real money. It is and it isn't. You guys get it. So when you take FWA, it's like someone does end up losing there. In the long run, somebody has to. But yeah, again, you don't need to put up anything to spin the wheel. You only put up NFTs and ETH if you want to farm FWA. So that's it right there. So depositor rewards available to withdraw. This guy's earned in 3 days or whatever 544,000 FWA. Yeah, it's a good shout, Atari. It's closer to that. Yeah. Buy the casino and let the gamblers gamble. Yeah. Fucking cool. All right. They're comparing it. This dude comparing it to was it SudoSwap and NFTX. And NFTX I used, right? It was deposit NFT. You get a token. Anytime you want, you can swap the token for any NFT in that pool. So it's just the way to like swap floors for floors, or hope somebody put a rare thing in that pool and you could get, mid-tier or rare for what you put in a floor. And they worked, but yeah. I guess you could kind of share on the upside of the platform there too, in a way. That platform couldn't survive contact with unequal assets. The fact that some in a way, like I was describing, you could have a rare thing in there, and technically its value is the same as the common. A vault like that. Hang on, like what? A vault token makes everything inside of it fungible. Yes. Deposit an NFT, mint one token, burn one token, pull NFT. It means a CryptoPunk and a Florazuki are the same object to the vault. Yeah, but they were different vaults. I don't totally get that. Because they were all in their own like individual vaults. Like you couldn't dump an Azuki in, get a token from the platform, and then swap it for a punk. You could swap only in that pool. So I don't totally get that unless I'm missing something else. But I used the platform. It didn't do what he's describing. FWA replaces the flat vault token with a single number. The depositor chooses backing. Okay. So we're getting into why people put up more ETH for the NFT as opposed to just what it's worth. Backing does two jobs. It sets the odds. So it's like we were thinking, if you put up an NFT worth $1, but you put up 100 ETH behind it, the odds to hit it are way, way lower. So you protect your NFT by putting up more ETH. Selection weight is proportional to the backing. So a position backed at 4 ETH is drawn 100 times less often than one backed at 0.04. Okay, and it sets the standing bid, the price at which whoever pulls it can hand it straight back for ETH. Okay. I don't know what it sets or where. Right? So again, if you put up that dollar NFT, but you put 100 ETH behind it, so they hit the NFT and they get their choice at NFT or ETH, how much ETH do they get for it? Like the dollar it's worth? Or because you put so much, do they get a fuck ton of that ETH? I would imagine they get a lot more ETH. Because otherwise I feel like that breaks it. Why would you put up any expensive NFT if you could just put up a cheap NFT and all the ETH, and then when you lose, you only lose a tiny bit of ETH? Yeah, I think when you put up a bunch of ETH, yeah, the risk has got to come somewhere. You lose somewhere when somebody hits your thing. So I think if you put the dollar NFT up and 100 ETH, when somebody hits it, you lose a fuck ton of that ETH. 85% of it. I think then that seems so risky then, right? So maybe it's not all the way to the 85% or whatever, right? Because then you're risking an NFT worth nothing, so you don't have that as your, well, at least I still got that. You don't have that then. You're just out a fuck ton of ETH and you have an NFT worth nothing. I've got to really wrap my head around that part. But at least we know for sure the more ETH you put up, the lower the odds of your NFT getting hit. I thought that at first too, early girl, but that's what the person can take, the person who wins. But on the depositor side, you have to put up, I assume, at least 85%. That's what I think that where the 85% comes in on the depositor side, at least 85%, but you can put in a lot more to make it harder to hit your NFT. So double it, and it's probably more than 2 times harder to hit, you know? So the odds go lower, the more ETH. It's degen gambling for sure. Kind of all it is. And then back to Mando's point, that's crypto. That's most of crypto. You know, good or bad or whatever. It is what it is. But yeah. But again, on the buyer side or the person playing the game, that's all they know. They get that 85%, but yeah, then it does get funny if you put up a cheap NFT and a ton of ETH. 85% of $1 NFT means what? I just think if it worked the way that it sounded like, and it doesn't, but if it worked that way, it breaks the thing. Everybody would just put up a cheap NFT, tons of ETH. The odds of hitting it are pretty much nothing. And if they do hit it, you lose very little. Like that wouldn't work. So yeah, but you ain't wrong. It's just that it is degen gambling. That's it. And it's like a fraction of collecting. This is like, I hate to say it. It's almost better than Deathster 2. The magic Deathster had was that you could stake and earn an NFT, right? Random. It was a lottery, right? It's like they took the magic part of Deathster and turned it into FWA. I think there is something fucking cool about hitting an NFT that's cheap and having the option to go dump it into those bids on OpenSea or keeping the NFT because you love the NFT. I wonder too, boy, I hadn't thought about this. You know, like, I wonder if Adam saw Deathster and is like, I can do that, but I can do it my way. I can take it next level. I wonder if Adam saw this, if this is directly inspired by Deathster, because that is what Deathster did. Again, you trade the meme coin. It works a little different, but same, like, you know, same kind of reward system or whatever, right? Trade the meme coin. Fees go to buy an NFT, and the NFT is given to somebody who enters the, you know, who stakes. And this one, you don't have to stake. You just roll the thing. So his twist on it is anybody can play it. You don't need the token. Open to anybody. It's pretty cool. And that that the reward is something that a lot of people like and want to collect it. Yeah, Rhinotic, guy who built the protocol. But I wonder, dude, if he saw Deathster, makes no comments about it, whatever, right? Season's like, there's something interesting there. Let me take a spin. It's cool. The ticket price, so the price to play it is the harmonic mean of every backing in the pool. So it's some kind of balanced or average of every NFT and the amount it's backed. Okay, harmonic rather than arithmetic, because the harmonics, Jesus, mean weighs each position by how likely it is to appear. A position drawn once in 1,000 polls contributes about 1,000th of the price. Again, need to wrap my head around that more. Run it against the live pool. FWA's top position, the crown, is backed at 66.1 ETH. Okay, so top staker. As of that time, it's way more now. It sits in the same pool as roughly 800 positions backed near 0.04. So again, this is all way higher now. The ticket costs 0.1. Man. In every other gotcha, the roles are assigned by the platform. On FWA, the house is not an entity, it's a position, and it's per asset and self-priced. You choose which NFT to put in, and one number sets both its rarity and its buyback price. So that's the ETH you put up. One number sets its rarity. So again, dollar NFT, you put up 100 ETH, it's suddenly very, very rare. The buyback price, I got to understand that too. So it's based on some kind of balance between the NFT and the ETH backing it. Oh, maybe we're getting to it here. Setting backing low and you're a common. So you put up the NFT that's cheap and you put up very little ETH, it's going to get hit probably. You put up an expensive NFT and very little ETH, first off, you can't. But if you did, let's say you put up a CryptoPunk and $10, again, you can't do that. I think you have to put up the 85%. But if you could put in a buck, your CryptoPunk's going to get hit and it's going to get taken. Set backing low and you're common, pulled constantly, cycling fees, yep. Set it high and you're the chase card, rarely pulled, quietly earning fees while everyone hunts you. I hate AI writing. Nothing stops you from doing both at once. You can deposit it into the pool and pull from it the same block. Cool. Holding house exposure and player exposure simultaneously. Neither role is granted by anyone, neither is revocable. Okay, this might be the good part. Because every depositor's backing choice feeds the same harmonic mean, the pack price is set collectively by the people supplying it rather than an operator. Cheap positions make the pack cheaper for everyone. Expensive positions make the prize pool richer without raising the entry price much. That's cool. I love this. No, you don't need anything. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. You don't need 10,000 tokens for anything. It's any of the NFTs that are like whitelisted for the site are what you can put up. So like anything you're seeing here, like you can put up a 10,000 token and it because it's one of the cheaper ones, it was a good one. But Milady works here, CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, Nakamigos, Pudgy Penguins, Meebits, GBC, the new Jack Butcher thing. But as we scroll through, you'll start getting an idea of what, right? Dick Butts. I don't know what that is. I think there's O'Pepin in here, Max Payne, MFers. Any of those you can put up. And when you put it up, you can put as much ETH as you want, basically. And the more you put up, harder it is to lose your NFT. But I still think you lose. Still don't know how they determine how much ETH you lose if somebody chooses that instead. Right? If you've got 100 ETH behind an MFer, who's going to take the MFer? Of course, they'd pick the ETH, but again, how much do they get? What's that based on? Exactly that, dude. This is where it's so interesting because any NFT, you can put up as much ETH as you want. All of a sudden, your best play is what's the cheapest NFT that's allowed on the platform? And so it might have been 10,000 tokens, and all of a sudden it becomes Wolf Game, and then all of a sudden it becomes Max Payne, and then it becomes whatever's the cheapest is it's what's going to see its floor price pump. So there's a play there, and then this ends when people don't see upside on the FWA token. And right now it's like at 30 mil market cap, if we saw collector crypt go to 250 mil or so, or 300, it would get cooked. I got to imagine people see a solid 3 to 5x on that token still. And again, how does this all even out, and what does it mean for the floor prices, and what other collections do they add? And there's so many variables here. I don't know how you play it. Yeah, it's just one of those things that comes with time, and if this is still running by then. But it's it's working now. It clearly worked for the people early. It's working for some of the people who are playing the game too. And I think the obvious thing to say is it won't last forever. It won't last forever. But then again, gambling works forever, and these kind of machines, I think, work. I try picturing this draw it out to a bear market. In a bear market, if it costs 0.01 to spin and there's a CryptoPunk in there, am I going to spin it as often as I can? Yeah. As often as I can, right? People will still spin it in a bear market. So it won't be zero volume, So yeah. So I think he can, Atari, and I think he will. Like I think he'll feed this back to Punkster somehow. So he's already tweeted that he's asking people what else they want to see in this. He can copy everything. He can copy what Dumpster Deathster are doing. He can put up meme coins. I bet you that's the next thing to happen. Bundles of meme coins. Like why not? He could put tokenized gold. He can put tokenized oil. He can put tokenized whatever. He can do wrapped Bitcoin. He can do USDC. All the stuff that Deathster did, he can literally do in here. So it's like if you want to put up a tokenized bag of, 10,000 USDC, well, or just 10,000 USDC and you still back it by ETH, I assume, or whatever, I guess. Yeah. I bet that's so easy to implement. So then how cool would it be to, roll it for 0.15 and hit 10,000 USDC or gold or whatever? This chart? Oh yeah, shit. Look at that. Did I FUD somebody out of this? Wow, dude. And you can't buy it. That's hilarious. But yeah, what's so funny is all of a sudden that looks like an opportunity, right? You can't buy the token. If you want to get it, you got to stake. You got to stake or roll the fucking game and take your reward when you hit an FWA token. So I wonder how we see people react to this, right? Do we see a whole bunch of people claim their token and get out? Doubt it. The protocol's too good. There's way too much upside here. But do we see some people get spooked? Or do we see people like double down and, oh, this is the best opportunity now to stake your NFT and stake your ETH and earn some rewards? And you get more token. If it's cheaper token, you get more token. If you want to take your CryptoPunk in ETH, great. But if you want to take it in FWA, all of a sudden right now you get a third more RWA than you would have gotten an hour ago. Or 33%. That probably sounds a little better. So you get 33% more RWA, FWA than you would have 30 minutes ago. So will some of these guys stake more? Will people be like spinning the wheel more? It's pretty cool. Let me keep going on this. Again, this guy's got some really, really good points here. Boy, this is one of the coolest decentralized like platforms. This is showing off some of the best things about crypto. Just that it is decentralized, that the rules are all out there. In theory, because I don't know, I don't know. I haven't read the contract. I don't know. But like in theory, trustless. Like there's nothing Adam can do to break it. I'm just saying, like, assuming that stuff. I don't know. Clearly, Adam can change things, upgrade things, I think. But like, it's a great example of like the potential for crypto. You could have a machine like this, a casino like this, that people can like be a part of house side and with no fuckery by a single person. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. And you're giving people what they want. They want to gamble. So people get to gamble and win. You can just be an investor and win. And these are the kind of things I had always hoped. You just set it and sit back and let it run for years or forever. It's so cool. Okay, hang on. We need to go further. Is this the same article? I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, this part's cool. I want to get to that. The nowhere house part is really cool. Okay, we kind of got to the backing stuff. The curated allow list. Oh, yeah, I mean, this part's cool. This part's really cool. Nowhere. I'm sorry. This part's so cool. Cultural leverage is one half of the on-chain advantage. The other half is logistics. So you got the collector crypt, and you've got like Breezy or Breeze or whatever, and you've got Courtyard, who they have to store this stuff, right? They keep the physical cards and they got to store it, and they need to have a human or humans, and there's like a cost there to operate that something like this just doesn't have. These guys have got like, server costs and hosting costs and stuff like that. But to run a physical gacha, you have to own the cards. Is it Beezy? There we go. Thank you. You got to own the cards. You got to maintain it. You got to put in the time to source it. That's important too. Like that, those places are sourcing the cards, and this is sourcing nothing. This is sourced by like users. It's fucking crazy. You got to pay to ship it. You got to pay to authenticate it, get it graded, insure it, store it in the vault, tokenize it, all that stuff. This one, none of it, dude. None of it. Literally build the platform, sit back and say, you guys fill it up. I don't have to authenticate anything. You can do it because it's all on chain. It's like literally what NFTs were built for. You authenticate it. You take a couple clicks and you know it's an Azuki. You know it's a Bored Ape. You know it's a CryptoPunk. I don't have to do shit. And there's no shipping costs. It's a tiny little gas fee. Like, no, you don't have any of that stuff. Crazy. The risk, it's a different thing. The risk is different, but like, good different. Collector Crypt's tokenized inventory is approaching 50 million in value. 50 million. What's FWA's total pool worth? 650 ETH. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to math. Atari, I see that. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to peek at that. 650 ETH with a comparable value sitting in those NFTs, those positions escrow at roughly 1900 per ETH, somewhere near 2.4 million worth of prizes in inventory. Just NFT inventory. But again, no shipping, no grading, no insurance, no warehouse, no none of that. All that other stuff is coming, so it's kind of funny that that stuff is at their expense, not this platform's expense. Kind of crazy, man. What's up, Justin? What is that, dude? Hang on. I've never seen that. 550 jewels. Dude, what are jewels? Thank you, by the way. That's fucking cool. I don't know what jewels are. That's super cool. I love this platform. If this platform, by the way, stopped working right now and like died, doesn't change how awesome the platform is. It doesn't change the fact that for a minute you got to see with people's money what they want. This is like the value of attention, right? And money together. You see what people want, what people are willing to spend for. This is instantly, I think this is something that kind of changes. I don't want to say the industry, but kind of. I mean, kind of. You see something that works this well, this quickly, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, if this breaks or goes away or shut off or whatever, you're like, somebody else is going to build it. This feels like a new forever thing in this space. And why wouldn't it be? Like, it's perfect. It's so degen. It's so what we want. Click, win. And we'll say safe and all that. Like, this is a new forever thing. And if it's not this version of it, and this platform and this person, it's a version of it for sure. What else is here? Yeah, man. To spin this thing, it's like double now, right? But to spin it before, I think at the start was like 0.07 ETH. Closer to the start, right? That's 7% of a Milady Floor NFT, 8% of a Azuki, which means the honest description of FWA as a casino of FWA is not a casino. It's a distribution mechanism. Wearing a casino's clothes. I mean, it's a casino. I mean, it's a casino, but I get that too. And I like that the odds are all public. you know? 2 extensions worth watching. Primary insurance. If a creator can distribute a new collection exclusively through the gacha with no direct mint, then FWA stops being a venue for secondary trading and becomes a distribution rail, which we've seen. Yeah, we've seen it. So Jack Butcher. And then fungible assets. And so we talked about this too. Right now it's NFTs. But the logic extends a fixed lot of an ERC20 is a prize with a price. Again, he's going to do exactly what Deathster did. Bundles of tokens. Yeah, it's awesome. Cyberkongs, like I believe this, man. I think Cyberkongs have to copy this as much as they can, just on Solana. I think that's how. Like, look, if Cyberkongs want Dumpster to be on fucking fire, if they want that thing to hit 50 mil, like if they want to see Dump hit 50 mil this week, and I don't know if you can build this in a week. I think you could. They need to copy this and do it for Solana. And don't worry about the Solana NFTs. Do Solana meme coins, bags of meme coins that, like the protocol right now. The part of Dumpster that's tricky for me is when it buys meme coins and sells them and then gives that money to people in the pools. It doesn't need to do that with a meme coin. It could just take the fees that the coin earns from getting traded and just give that to the people staking. Right? That's all they're doing. They're taking the sole fees from the coin being traded, buying a meme coin, selling the meme coin, then giving it. So they're taking these extra steps when you don't need to at all, other than like you get to tweet about that. You get to tweet with a ticker, but it doesn't need that. It doesn't add anything to it. It doesn't. It just doesn't. So it's why I've been saying since this thing came out, dude, you've got to get it where it's buying the meme coin. And that's what people win. You got to at least give them the choice. Like the dumpsters, give them a choice of, do we want the meme coin or do we want it sold for soul? You have to give people something of greater value. So I hope Dumpster copies exactly this. Big bundles of meme coins. If they do that, I think Dumpster can get like electric on Solana, just like this thing. I don't know if they're going to do it though, dude. I'm not sure. Because like the feedback from before was like, yeah, that's cool. Like we'll get to the cool stuff when we can get through the dumpster fire, right? They're I mean, look, in a way, let me pull it up. I don't even know what dump is at. It's on its way there. They need to kick this thing live. They need to kick the like the gambling machine. Pull the lever, same thing that same thing that FWA is doing. Pull the lever. In this case, 100 all the way up to 1,000 dump tokens. And hope you hit from the prize pool, which where is that? Lower, I think. Maybe it was higher. Where was that? There it is. So there's like 16 million dump tokens. That thing needs to be full of other meme coins. Like, I don't know where the money comes from to buy the other meme coins now. I mean, the platform fees, hindsight, maybe that's what a lot of these fees should have gone for to begin with. But like, that thing needs to be full. My version of it, right? Or perfect world. That needs to be full of bags of Ansem and bags of Jimothy and bags of, do they have wrap gold on Solana and stuff like that? Like, I assume so. It needs to be all that stuff. That's what people need to win. They just need to pull the lever and hit something big, just like you can pull the lever and hit a CryptoPunk. Low odds, but they need to copy that protocol. Otherwise, I still believe this can work as a meme coin, as like everything I've said prior weeks. Like people like Henry, people will play things that Henry's a part of. Right market, it'll move. But right now, it needs more and it needs bigger. And this will move the needle a little bit, but this isn't going to get the coin to, 15, 20, 30, 50 mil. It's not. I don't think so. If you copy what FWA is doing, it does go there. Like I would bet on that. And I'm already betting, like I have sold none of my coins. If they do that, if they copy them, this will do the same thing. They got to do it. They got to do it. What parts do we not get so far? Like, is there anything we don't understand yet? I still don't totally understand. You know what? Let's ask ChatGPT. Okay. I don't understand, again, if you put up a dollar NFT but 100 ETH, when somebody hits, how much do they win? So that's the one question I want to ask this thing. Okay. If I put up a $1 NFT but back it with 100 ETH, the odds to win my NFT are low. I'm wording this stupidly, maybe. When they if they win, or when they win, if they choose to receive ETH instead of the NFT. All right, let's see. That to me is like the biggest thing I just haven't had like click for me yet. I know it's not 85% of the value of that NFT. It can't be. Because then you get to farm this token with like no risk. The 85% applies to the ETH backing. Okay, so nothing to do with the NFT then. Okay, that helps. There's our answer then. You put up a dollar NFT, you're just doing it for entry into the thing. The 85% is 85% of your ETH. So you put up a dollar NFT and you put up 1,000 ETH, somebody hits your NFT, you're out 850 ETH. That's cool. That makes way more sense. So then, I mean, you're praying, nobody's going to take the NFT then, but you're praying somebody fucks up and takes the NFT. You're faced with a choice. Do you want to claim this NFT or do you want to claim 850 ETH? Or that 850 ETH in FWA value, right? But that's how it works, not based on the NFT value. But you have to there's a minimum ETH you put up, I think. And that minimum ETH you put up is 85% of the value of the NFT. You can't put in lower. You receive the NFT back. The remaining 15 ETH is the settlement discount. Okay. So then that's split with the platform in fees that are distributed to the people who staked and people who are playing the protocol. That makes sense. So the 85% is purely based on the ETH you put up, which at minimum is the value, the floor price of the NFT. It's a brilliant fucking platform. And then just keep in mind, the more ETH you put up, the odds of hitting your NFT are based on how much ETH you put up. Still nothing to do with any kind of rarity of the NFT. It's all about the ETH. Actually, I could see that they could work it in where rare NFTs require a bigger backing. I don't know if they have done that. Like if Seed Phrase puts up the 7-trait punk, does he have to put in the 85% of the floor of CryptoPunks or 85% of, the value of that punk, wherever that comes from? So that I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other things I that didn't quite click for me. But I think most of it makes sense now. Yeah, what else? So I think we've got this. Less risk of losing it, but if someone hits, yeah, it would suck. And that's the case where that's the big loss case, right? So you're hoping to God you don't get as lucky as that guy got before, the guy who like lost his punk in a hack and then he got it back, right? And then he ended up hitting a punk, just pure luck, awesome, right? But there's a flip side to that story. Somebody who puts up 1,000 ETH and he's like, I feel safe. The odds are pretty much nothing that somebody hits it. And I'm just going to farm FWA tokens. And then he has the shittiest luck in the next day or whatever. Somebody hits his thing. They hit his dollar NFT, but they get 85% of his ETH. And then he's out. That dude's out. Loses all that ETH and only farmed, a day's worth of FWA tokens. And if it's a slow day, maybe, I don't know, makes a couple grand. That's like that's the risk part of the platform. But I gotta say, the way this is all like balanced out, it feels like the risk is lower on this thing than any like a lot of other gambly things I've seen. Like the risk is definitely there, but when there's odds to it that just go lower and lower, the more you put in, like that's like, is that not crazy interesting? The more you put in, like the safer it gets. It's kind of weird. It's kind of awesome. More you put in, the more you earn and the safer it gets. That's crazy. This is a crazy platform. I don't think I've seen anything like this. Right? Am I thinking about this wrong? Hey, let me ask ChatGPT. Hang on. Let's should we bring in Butternugs? Dude, I haven't had Butternugs on in fucking forever. Let's see. Hey, Butternugs, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How's your morning going?
It's good. Hey, do you see the FWA documentation I sent you like 30 minutes ago?
Let me double check real quick. I do. Yeah. I read through all the sections, not just the overview. Feel free to grill me on it, whether it's mechanics or edge cases.
Okay. Fuck, what was the question I was going to ask? Dude, it's a cool platform. What was the question? Yeah, Butternugs. The platform seems like the more ETH you put into it, like to back your NFT, the more ETH you put in, the safer it is, and also the more you earn, right? Is that right?
Let me check. Yeah, that's like mostly right. Yes. With the key trade-off. More ETH backing makes your NFT less likely to be selected and boosts your FWA depositor rewards. But if you do get selected, that larger backing is what's on the line, meaning the purchaser can take the default percentage of that backing. So it's safer in terms of odds and rewards, but bigger exposure if selected. It's not free yield, it's risk reward balance.
Yeah. Scary, also awesome. I don't think I've seen a platform like this. Pretty crazy.
Definitely. It can feel upside down at first glance. If you want, we can run through a concrete number scenario together just to sanity check the intuition.
Yeah, why not? Quick question though. I don't know if you can see like the interface, but let's say somebody puts up $1, like an NFT that's worth like $1, and they back it with 1,000 ETH. If somebody hits the NFT, right, plays the protocol, they hit that NFT, does their like screen where they win show them the option you can take the NFT or you can take the 850 ETH? And does it make it really clear what they're picking?
That's a good question. I haven't seen their actual interface, so I really can't verify the exact screen or wording. The docs describe the mechanics, but not how the UI presents it. If I were designing it, I'd want the choice and value to be really obvious.
Shush it up. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Fucking cool. No, Atari, that's just ChatGPT. Yeah, I want to see where else I might have questions, but I think we got it now. And now it's just all now like trying to project out. Right now it would be studying the fees people are making. Like, what are the daily rewards looking like? And then you can start calculating based off this much volume. You're earning this much a day with this much ETH staked. So what kind of volume do you need to have over the next week or 2 or month or whatever to make your money back so you can exit or to make money, right? Like that's the thing where we're at. What's it take to make something? There's also something here too. This is actually really important. The fees that are getting shared right now are going to go way down in about 10 days, right? Like there's a big chunk, 15, it's this part right here. This part right here, 30% funds 15 days of emission. So there's 15 days. This is almost like their TGE, I think. So they're like getting their coin out there right now. And after 15 days, it stops. But the first 15 days, 30% of it or 30% of funds go out. So the whole platform or protocol looks different in like a week and a half here. I think so. I think that's what it is. Actually, we'll ask Butternugs that. On the FWA token, is after 15 days, what happens? Because there's some kind of a mission that happens that is only for the first 15 days. Like, explain that.
Let me check that detail. One moment. Yeah. So the first 15 days are a boost phase, basically. Each day, 1% of the total supply goes to depositors and another 1% goes to purchasers. After that, those emissions stop and the protocol shifts to buybacks that then get split between depositors, purchasers, and burns. So basically, it goes from new token rewards to protocol-funded buybacks.
Cool. Achari, you earn from that and by staking. So putting up an NFT with ETH. So yeah, either by playing the protocol, like spinning the thing, or by staking. Yeah. Yep. So like, yeah, it's tempting. It's kind of tempting to stake to earn the fees. Your risk is somebody hits your thing and you lose what you put in. And so like, dude, okay, now I got to think about this. If you put in a cheap NFT and not much ETH, that means you're more likely to lose. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think here. If I put in, $100, am I very likely to lose that kind of quickly? Or if I put up $100 NFT, yeah, I think if you're only putting up a little bit, you're at risk of getting wiped out kind of easily. So it's more like a whales game, right? But when it ends, it's not going to die. Right. It's only part of the emissions or the fees shared back that changes. And I bet you they can tweak that. Well, not even a bet. They can tweak that whenever they want. So if they need to give it some juice, they could just ramp it up. But yeah, okay. Now I'm kind of curious. If you don't want to go all in because you don't want to take a big risk, so you only want to throw $100 at it, your odds of getting wiped out are way higher if you're not putting much in, right? So then why would you do it? And so then maybe that's like the protocol telling you, well, that's not the side you should be farming. You should be farming the from the player side. You should be spinning the wheel. But what I guess I'm thinking is, do you secure your $100 by putting up a cheaper NFT? And I think that's part of it too. If your ETH you put up is higher than the 85% of the value of the NFT, does that lower your odds from getting hit, like, period, right? I don't think it can. But right, could I put up a $10 NFT, but $100 worth of ETH? Is that safer than putting up $100, an NFT worth $100 backed by $100 in ETH? So that I'm not sure. Boy, Moonship, I would like to, but I don't want to spend what is it? Is it like almost $300 to spin it now? Like I don't want to spend $300 on it. I'll spend it on the Vlad scam coin, but I won't spend it on the legit thing. It's so stupid, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So then that $100 example though, are you safer putting up $100 NFT plus 100 ETH? Well, Butternugs. Hey, Butternugs.
Hey.
So what would happen to my odds, the odds of me losing my ETH or NFTs here? Okay, the example is, am I safer putting up an NFT that's worth $10 and I put in $100 of ETH to back it, as opposed to putting up an NFT that's worth $100 and I put $100 at ETH? I put $100 worth of ETH to back that NFT.
Hang on, let me check the docs logic. So, from what I understand, the odds are based only on the ETH backing, not on what the NFT is worth on the outside. So, if both have $100 of ETH behind them, the odds and rewards are basically the same. What changes is your risk. With the cheaper NFT, if someone keeps it, you lost a $10 asset. With the $100 NFT, you're risking something 10 times more valuable. Pretty wild design choice, right?
It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So it only goes by the ETH you're putting up. The NFT doesn't matter at all. It's a way to incentivize somebody to not take your ETH for an NFT you might not want, I guess. Like, the NFT doesn't matter that much. So now I wonder, when people are winning, like, are they more often taking the NFT, or are they taking the ETH, or are they taking FWA? And I'm going to bet they're taking FWA. I'm just going to guess they take FWA right now. Oh, Justin, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was echoing. Yeah, I'll fix that next time. It didn't do that before, right? It was fine? Yeah, StreamYard's really, really weird sometimes. It'll do that with, like, no change. Okay, I want to see if we can get an idea of what people are doing here. When it says bid, I don't know if that's somebody accepting the reward, right? So somebody hit the 10,000 token thing, and it says bid is FWA. I think that's them taking FWA as their reward. I think this one here is them taking 0.15 ETH. I want to see if any of them say I want to see if any of them say, like, claim, what was the wording here? Like, bid is NFT or NFT. Yeah, okay, NFT reward. So you can see it here, what the people are taking. FWA versus bid is ETH versus NFT, which is they take the NFT. So the top rewards, we had a Punk taken as FWA, a Bored Ape taken as FWA. They took that a day ago, so they're up. It was the right call. What's up, DK? Here's an X copy taken as ETH. 4 days ago. 4 days ago. That person, if they took it, look at that, dude. FWA is almost all the way back up. How does that happen? Okay, now I'm trying to think what triggers a buy on FWA. Okay, this I don't understand. Right? Like, you can't buy, and I get where you could sell FWA, but how do you buy FWA? Is that when you claim your tokens? Yeah, I don't get that part yet. Oh, but what I was looking at was when somebody took that, what were we looking at, where they took the X copy? So 4 days ago, somebody took 5 ETH. So 4 days ago was the 21st. Oh, dude. Dude. That's funny. Somebody could have had that X copy for almost, that person right now, if they took it in FWA back then, I'm trying to math here. Like, very loose math. Oh my God. Very loose math. Dude, somebody please check me on this math. That person who took the X copy, hit the X copy, took it as 5 point something ETH. If they took it as FWA, they would have 2.4, let's say $2.5 million right now if they took it as FWA. DK, am I mathing right here? And where I'm going is if, they got it when, oh, no, hang on, I'm way off. I did it like 100K. And it's more like 400K. But let's just say, like, 1.5 to 2 mil. Is that like, I know it's really rough, but something like that, that person hit 7 figures if they took it in FWA. That's crazy. Maybe you can buy it directly through the site. Yeah, you can't, like, the only way you get token is through the protocol. Yeah, that's true too. There's not enough liquidity for that. Let's just go on paper though, and if this thing's got some longevity to it, and I think it does, that person hit a life-changing thing right then, and they didn't take it. Because who would know? I would have done the same thing. I would have taken 5 ETH. I would have taken 10 grand before rolling the dice. I probably would have taken the NFT, to be honest. But that's what somebody hit, and that's the why you might take the FWA token. Even here, you don't have a 250 or 70x in this thing at this point. You have, you're hoping for a 10x. And I think there's a lot of people who'd be playing for the 10x for sure. Okay, so let's ask Butternugs. You can't buy the FW. All right, yeah, let's see if we can figure out what triggers those buys. What is that? Spawn thinking. Oh, that could just be the protocol buying back their own token. That would probably make sense. Oh, or purchaser's reward buys. Okay, part of the acquisition surcharge can be converted into an allowance that buys FWA for a successful purchaser. So somebody hit, okay, it could be this. Somebody hit a big NFT and they didn't choose how they were going to claim it yet, right? As FWA, or that's actually another part of the game theory here. If you hit, you don't have to claim right away. You can probably let it sit there and decide over, I don't know how many days or how long, but if you want the token, if you want the ETH, if you want the NFT, and if you choose the FWA, it buys it. It buys it right there at the platform's expense. This is the part that's another part I'm not clear on. If you choose the FWA, the person who put up the NFT and the ETH, do they lose anything? Protocol revenue can be used to buy FWA, and then they distribute it. Yeah, so the protocol might have bought it to prop up their coin. So I don't love that, but also I don't hate it because I don't understand why and how and all that, right? So it's fine. Okay. If someone chooses FWA, so now we're finding out if somebody chooses FWA as the person who put up the ETH and NFT, do they lose anything? Or are they do they just dodge a bullet there, right? Yes, yeah, a person could pull out their NFT at any time, but I assume if your NFT was hit and somebody didn't claim yet, you're locked. You can't pull it out then, right? But yes, if your NFT was not one in the machine, you can pull out whenever you want. Oh, wow. Okay, if somebody chooses FWA, so again, another part of the game theory here, the risk is so much less right now when people are farming FWA, because if somebody hits FWA, that comes at the project's expense, not the person who put up the NFT or the ETH. So the NFT goes back to the depositor. The winner is entitled to the default 85% of their ETH backing. Instead of receiving the amount as ETH, the protocol uses, hang on. The person who got hit, it does use their ETH. Okay, so I was wrong here. So you is putting up the NFT in ETH. If they choose FWA, it takes your ETH. Okay, so then that makes sense. Takes your ETH, it buys FWA tokens. So that's where the buy's coming from. Somebody had to have been sitting on that thing and they saw the price go down and they were waiting for this moment to claim the FWA. Takes the person's ETH, buys the token. Yeah, makes sense. So then I wish we could see when people took the bid. Well, let's go to recent. Maybe this doesn't. Yeah, that shows recent winners, I guess. This is so cool, man. This is so fucking cool. I wish it showed like the accepted order. You know, like I would love to see if there was just a big claim on FWA. And like how long it had been sitting out there. That'd be really cool to see. That had to have been a decent sized buy though. So maybe I see it here, right? Because those are FWA. So do I see something here that's like a top thing that's just like, you know, minutes ago? This thing's brilliant. Four hours ago, you know, 1.8 ETH. Do we have anything that's like an hour ago? Or like, you know, and none of those are enough to move the move that chart like that, I don't think. You know what? That's a good. Let's ask ChatGPT that. I don't think you can put V1s in though. I don't think I saw V1s as one of those collections, but let's go with let's just use that as a loose example, right? NFT worth 2 ETH, and then you back it with 2 ETH. But I'm pretty sure that the V1s are not eligible yet. Man, there's a lot of people playing this thing. Like, right? I hadn't really looked at the time frames here. But like, I mean, we're getting like dozens in the past 10 minutes. Man, I would love to be able to expand that. You know what? Actually, what we were thinking happened is got to be what happened, right? Because that screenshot of the guy who hit the CryptoPunk, and when he said he claimed it as FWA, the chart did the same thing. Yeah, see? So when the guy claimed the 30, see, that had to have been a pretty big hit. When that guy claimed the CryptoPunk in FWA, so 33 ETH in FWA, it sent the chart from, man, I don't know now. It sent it from 7.2 mil up to 10.4. So this thing was up, you know, 50% or so. So what did somebody need to claim? What did somebody need to claim to take it almost a 2x? You know? Moonship, you're like the devil on my shoulder. I do want to spin the fucking thing. I do, but man. Ansem went a lot of X's, dude. Well, we can peek at that after. I don't know where it started, but I assume it started, you know, under 100K. You could have had it, but we'll peek at that after. Yeah, I want to see how long you can claim, but I don't like with $1 million liquidity at a 17 mil market cap. how big was that buy to put it up to? And now at this point, it's, you know, over the course of some time here, but how big was the buy to bring it back up to 30 mil? So then I start questioning if that really was somebody hit, you know, claiming FWA as opposed to somebody, you know, protocol buying. Because that would have been a massive buy, right? Again, I'm not great with the number of stuff. So like if somebody thinks I'm off there, let me know. But that feels like it would have been a big buy, like not somebody winning, you know, not somebody claiming FWA. And if this is live, it would have shown here. But I don't see anything in the past, you know, 2 hours. So that might have been a protocol buy. Wolf game in there. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the protocol bot. Three minutes ago, bid accepted. So somebody took the ETH. So there we go. Guys, there's a good example. Somebody put up a 10,000 token NFT with about 0.5 ETH, right? Something like that. So the person hit the NFT, but they didn't take the NFT. They took the 0.4 ETH. And they could have taken the 0.4 ETH as FWA tokens, but that was probably the smart play right here. I mean, maybe the smart play. I still think FWA's got a, like, it maybe has some really big upside, but somebody decided 0.4 ETH, but lost a cheap an NFT worth 0.02 or 3, you know, a week ago. And that guy put up that NFT, but lost 0.4 ETH. And if that person is nothing else, and I would imagine like that looks like the setup for me of somebody who probably that was their exposure to the platform. They might have just lost all their ETH. And what they have still is, you know, NFT worth, you know, 0.06 now. This thing is moving though. 4 minutes ago, like this thing is really moving. But yeah, perfect example. Somebody loses more ETH than the NFT's worth. Here's another 2 minutes ago, 0.3 ETH against a 10,000 token. Dude, people are farming the shit out of this, huh? This is crazy. Oh, here we go. Here's another 1.1 ETH. A lot of these guys, though, are taking. Well, a lot of them are pending, so people are just waiting. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that. Cheaper NFTs, more ETH against it. So pending claim, you know, person hasn't seen it yet, or they're waiting for the, you know, token to come down or something. But I think that's protocol buying. Okay, what was this? Potential rewards here. Can't calculate the earnings, right? Only the 2 ETH backing matters. It doesn't matter the NFT. So you don't need to put up a good NFT. Why would you put up? Okay, so brings me back to the NFTs. Why would you put up a good NFT? Somebody help me with this. Why in the world would you put up a good NFT for any reason? Why would you put up a Bored Ape unless you're just trying to like give back? You're just trying to make it fun. Okay. This now gets me thinking like with Dumpster, like a why. Like this, you know, I get you're doing it just to get some like some spice on the thing, but the platform doesn't need it. Yeah, but Atari, you don't need it. Okay, so it's like, why would you put up a Bored Ape or a CryptoPunk with however much ETH behind it, as opposed to put up the cheapest NFT possible with the same amount of ETH behind it? Because all the rarity and the odds, everything is based off the ETH. So why would you risk losing a good NFT? And I think it's only there to gamify the choice. Do you want to take the NFT or do you want to take the ETH? Right? But the way you play the platform and what you earn is based only on the ETH, nothing to do with the NFT. So why would you put up a good NFT? And I think it's like Dumpster, where like Dumpster buys the meme coin, sells the meme coin. It's like, well, but you don't need to do that. Why would you do it? And I don't think there is. Atari, I don't think there's a catch there. I don't like. I was thinking. I don't think there's a catch. I think it's if people want to make it fun, they can put in an expensive one. Like in a way, it's like giving back to the platform or to the protocol, right? Is there any reason why someone would want to put up a nice, expensive NFT? Yeah, I don't think there's a reason other than just wanting to do it. I think it's just like Dumpster in that regard. Doesn't need to do that. But it's like, dude, it's so smart because it confuses people. It kind of like tricks people. FWA calculates selection weight and depositor token rewards from the ETH backing, not the NFT. The positions would receive the same weight. The difference is when your position is selected. If the winner takes the NFT, you lose the NFT and recover the backing. Risking the expensive NFT produces a larger potential economic loss without automatically increasing your rewards. Okay. There's a few reasons somebody might want to do the expensive NFT. Let's see. Dude, for tax reasons, I could picture that. For tax reasons, somebody would rather lose the NFT than the ETH. Hey, Gravity, good morning. So for tax reasons, to strengthen the pool, so again, to give back to this thing, to incentivize people to play the protocol. Yeah, you don't have to. There's no reason for most people, there's no reason for you to put up an expensive NFT. It's literally find the cheapest NFT that's eligible and put up as much ETH as you want. So the way they could have fixed that maybe is like, if you want to put up even more ETH, you have to have an NFT that's like some proportional value to it, right? If you want to put in 100 ETH, you have to have an NFT that's like worth, again, some ratio there. But you don't have to put up an expensive NFT. That's so interesting. Just like Dumpster doesn't need to do the meme coin thing. Sorry, I think this platform is so clever. Even in that thing, the fact that it's not needed and people assume you do, so it feels like it's this like it's a big trick. Good trick, right? It's a big trick because you kind of expect that there's always going to be a grail or a prize or something, and probably yes, but also you don't need it. No, the spin price changes too. The spin price changes based on basically the amount of ETH against individual NFTs. So that's balanced, right? Spin price was like 0.05 and then 0.07, and now it's like 0.15 ETH. Yeah, 0.15 ETH now, but it does change. Yeah, the more is in there, like number of pieces times, or number of pieces calculated against the backing per, and then that's how they come up to the spin price. So it changes, yeah. So yeah, what are people spending right now? Here, let's connect and see. Okay. Yeah, 0.155 now. And you could spin 5 times. Okay. So yeah, 0.1, almost getting close to 0.16 to spin, and that can change. So if people put in cheaper things, if people just go crazy with small amounts, then it'll lower the cost. It'll lower the cost to spin it. More expensive backings jacks that price up. I'm still watching to see if something big popped in here. Otherwise, if we don't see anything big pop in here, like it's got to be in this front page, then that the buys we saw on that chart has got to be the protocol buying back. Has to be. And I still don't see anything that was less than, 2 hours ago. That has to be the protocol buying here. Dude, what was the other question we were asking? So you spin to buy the token pretty much with a chance to get a crazy win. Exactly it. You are literally playing the thing to earn fees, FWA fees or rewards, and making back, about half of what you put into, also. Because either when you hit it, you're hitting an NFT. Or you, right, like an NFT or a claim the ETH, or you're gonna get it in FWA. So you're spinning it to get to claim FWA if you want the token, and you get some fees, I think. Or you're hoping you hit something nice there. It's so good, DK, right? It's like everything is connected and thought through and balanced, and then we're going to have the rebalancing in like 10 days when that 15% thing stops, or 20, whatever that was, right? There's going to be another balance tweak and stuff. Like, it's so clever. All of it's so clever. But then it's like, but what happens if people stop buying? And it's like, will they stop buying if there's stuff to click and earn, gamble on, right? And not if it's a big enough reward. You have to. That's why you have to have CryptoPunks and Bored Apes and stuff like that in there. You have to. Like, right? If you don't have whole like grails and jackpots to hit, then that's when people won't do it. If it's just you might 2x or 3x, that's not enough. It's why Dumpster can really do something cool with that thing, right? Because you can 2x and 3x and 5. But if you got the jackpot things in there too, that's what people come for. So yeah, this actually gets me a little more bullish on that dumpster fire thing going live too. But none of it works without the grails in there. So this gets really interesting that they don't have to belong there. They're put in there to help it out, but they're not required. Man, now I'm thinking, could Dumpster incorporate something like this, like could somebody put up something? I mean, shit. I don't have this together yet, but could Dumpster open it up where any individual user could come in? And in a way, just like on FWA, you're staking your NFT in ETH and you're going to farm fees. Could Dumpster have something where an individual person could come in as like an event, stake an NFT, stake ETH, and they earn the platform fees while people are spinning, hoping to hit it. And if they hit it, they get it. And the whole time they are not hitting it, the person who staked their stuff earns a percentage of fees while it's up there. So they're gambling. It's just that one person against everybody. It's not like a whole pool of things against everybody. It's one person, one NFT with one backing against everybody. And everybody's just racing to spin and get them out. That would be cool as shit, right? Would that make sense, DK? I think it would. I think that'd be cool. If they put more grails in there, I don't, and we could look at the pools, like what's actually out there. Yeah, the problem here is nobody has to put up something expensive. So if it ever runs dry of expensive stuff like grails, then I'm like, I don't know if the platform works. It is similar thing to Dumpster Fire. I don't know what the big jackpot is. If it's not big enough, I think it's going to be enough that people spin it, dude. This gets me bullish on Dumpster Fire now. Yeah. Yeah, I think failure point is just not enough big rewards in there. And we'll feel that out when people stop feeling the upside on the FWA token is where we'll first feel that. So when some of the fees are cut off, like that 1% a day for whatever, like again, it's kind of not settled. But when that 15-day period, when that 1% gets cut off, we'll start feeling, what do people feel like the upside is now? There's not as many tokens to chase, something like that. And then if we see the NFTs or the big backings exit, If those are gone and you don't have the chance, like here's a 10,000 token with 160 ETH behind it. If that disappears and the Milady with 90 ETH disappears and the Punk with 60, right? If these disappear and you're left with, you know, like let's say 10 things and they're worth like 5 ETH each, as opposed to thousands of things worth, you know, 0.1, do you play it then? At that point, though, the cost to spin goes way down too. So the cost to spin might be 0.03. So you're spinning way less to win way less, but it still works. It's fucking cool. There's a level where even if it's low, like cost to enter is really low, but also the upside isn't crazy either. Like there's a point where people just disengage because it's not exciting enough, right? I don't know how you measure that, but there's a point where people won't click, even if there's like, even if you can win something decent, if it's not like crazy, if it's not crazy, change your life kind of thing, or change, you know, a part of your year, then, you know, you can lose people that way. But as long as this is there and somebody can hit 160 ETH, like right now, somebody could hit that. Somebody could go spin for 0.15 and win 160 ETH. Or the 90 ETH or the 66. And then like right here is where you start getting to interesting. Like, do you take the Punk? Do you take you take the 38 ETH and you buy a floor Punk? Here, same thing, probably. I don't think it matters. If you're playing it, I don't think the token price matters. Other than DK, actually it does matter somewhere. But on the claiming side, if you win, and right, if you spin it, you're going to win something. So the token price matters when you claim. Oh, that's the next thing I wanted to ask ChatGPT. When you claim, do you claim it in FWA? Or if you're looking to get FWA token, do you claim right now or do you wait till tomorrow or however long you have to see if token price goes down? That's where token price comes in for a player. If you're trying to optimize where you claim. Okay. How long do you have to claim if you oh, I didn't word that well. Hang on. Let me try that again. If you play the game yeah, let's see how long. Because then that's the only price matters. It doesn't matter for spinning it as far as you're paying FWA. It just matters if you want to claim it. You wouldn't want to claim at the top. Maybe. Like claiming here might be stupid if you claim FWA and it pulls back to 15 mil and you've lost half your value. You should have claimed an ETH. This is so cool. 24 hours. Okay. You only have 20. Oh, and you can keep it and relist it. Interesting. After 24 hours, the depositor can resolve the settlement. If it's unresolved for 7 days, anyone can finalize the outcome. The NFT goes to you. And the ETH. Oh, shit. Okay. Whole other part of this. If somebody wins and they don't claim it, and the person who put up the NFT and the ETH doesn't notice it either, after 7 days, you can do it and you get the NFT. That's fucking crazy. Wait. It said me, but me is the player. Hang on. If it's unresolved, hang on. If I don't claim it. Oh, wait. Keep the NFT. Okay, no, this is from me. If you play the game, okay, hang on. I can keep the NFT. Okay. I'm like not totally clear. After the 24 hours, the depositor can resolve the settlement. If it's not resolved for 7 days, anyone can finalize the outcome. The NFT goes to, okay, I think I read it wrong. If I don't choose, it chooses for me and gives me the NFT. Not the person who decides to resolve it. Let me ask to be clear. Okay, wait. If it goes for 7 days, I, as the player, get the NFT. If someone else, All right, let me get some clarity here. I almost would not want to talk to Henry today. I don't know. Because all I'm going to do is throw like, wouldn't it be cool if dumpster this? Wouldn't it be cool if you could do? I think you should do this. He would hate it. He would hate it today. He would hate me today. The original player gets the NFT. Okay, so if you wait 7 days, like you have to claim within 24 hours to pick anything other than the NFT. If you want ETH or you want FWA, you have to do that within 24 hours. If you wait, then okay, now I'm curious about this part. If you don't pick anything, the original depositor can resolve the settlement, meaning do they get to pick what you get then? Because then they could choose an NFT that they backed with a ton of ETH, but they could give you the NFT instead. And then if you wait, you get the NFT regardless. So this part's kind of interesting. You as the purchaser player get the NFT. The person who calls the final transaction gets nothing except the privilege of paying gas. Okay. After 7 days, anybody can trigger the settlement, but they're only executing it. So no, again, you get the NFT if you wait. It's NFT. Okay. If I don't claim the NFT in the first 24 hours, is that my own window to pick the uh all right, this'll help. That's cool. After 10 days, so when the emission thing is done, then it's open trading. That's going to get spicy. Okay, so then okay. After the 10 days, what's the utility of FWA on the platform that means people like what's it being used for that makes you want to earn the token? There's got to be something else coming up here. It might be you only dude, it's probably going to be to spin it you have to use FWA, right? Right now it's ETH you spin it with, but I bet you in 10 days it flips to use FWA to spin the wheel. So then the demand for FWA equals big prizes in the pool. Right? Like that's it. I mean, I don't mean that's it, but that's fucking it. Okay. The first 24 hours is the only window where you can pick what your reward is. After that, the depositor resolves it, but the docs don't state if the depositor gets to choose the rewards. I wonder if they do. Right? Like again, you put up the dollar NFT but 100 ETH and the person doesn't see it. Can you as the depositor say, "Fuck it. I got here, but I'm only giving them the dollar NFT"? That could be. If you wait 7 days though, it's the NFT, which also could be really good for the depositor. But most important part, if you win and don't accept or you don't resolve it in 24 hours, you lose your choice. God damn, this is awesome. Like this is awesome. It's not as bulletproof as I thought it was, but it's pretty fucking close. The part that's not bulletproof is like cheap NFT with big ETH backing if those disappear. Like nothing forcing you to put up a big NFT with a big ETH position, meaning big prizes can disappear. And then in a week and a half, it's going to be all about what's the utility of FWA. Right now, it's the unknown that has people farming it, but do we know what the token's used for? Again, it makes the most sense that you use it to spin the wheel. And this is a good thing to watch. Are people putting up big positions here to farm the token? When that dries up, token price should go down, right? Yep. So that's another good point, DK. We should probably see floor prices pulling way, way, way back in like a week as we get to the end of the 10 days here. I think. Because right, it's different than I thought. Where you don't need the NFT to you don't need an expensive NFT to stake or deposit. You kind of want the cheapest NFT to deposit. You do. I mean, you definitely do. You want the cheapest NFT to deposit. So again, 0.06 or 7. Yeah, you don't want the pricey ones. So what's the token going to be for? Or going beyond this, how else can you earn token? I don't know. Like I assume, yeah, I the only thing that makes sense is FWA is to spin. If they load it up with punks and like very expensive stuff, it'll work well. So yeah, kind of on Dumpster, they just need to keep that prize pool filled with good stuff, like good stuff. It can't be like the smaller prizes. It can be the smaller ones if the odds of hitting is up there, like higher. But you got to have big prizes in there, and you got to have multiple of them. Because if somebody hits the big prize, and there's still a whole bunch left, but it's allocated towards smaller things, I think some of the juice dries up. This is great though. Like it's great. Let's see who's hitting now. Yeah, a lot of people breaking even here on some of these rolls. So right, somebody spins for 0.156 and they claimed 0.075 worth of FWA token. Yeah, DK, I just don't want to. Like, I just don't want to spend 0.15. I'll spin this at 0.03. I probably would spin it at 0.05 or 0.07. There's numbers that are like a mental hurdle. 0.1 is. It's definitely a mental hurdle. But I do want to. Fuck. I mean, can you imagine? With 0.15, you can hit 160 ETH. You could hit 160 ETH. Fuck you. Now I'm looking at my wallet. Nah, man. I don't want to. Yeah. Hang on. Let me look. God damn it. I'm almost definitely not going to spin, by the way. I'm looking at that meme coin I bought. If that were up big, I would definitely. If I had some gambling funds, I would. But I don't. I'm seeing what I got that I could sell, though. Hang on. Yeah, there's not much I'd want to gamble right now. I'd have to sell a few things. And a mental hurdle wanting to convert some of my USDC, right? You know what, though? Like, there's not a ton of risk. Like, at worst, you're losing like 0.07. At worst, you're losing 0.07. If this comes down to where at worst I'm losing 0.03, then I'm doing it. It's tempting, man. How did this... Wait. Hang on. How did this one put up just 0.01 ETH? Because 10,000 tokens... so unless that was staked in here very early and 10,000 tokens were like 0.02 ETH or something like that, then I don't know how you only have 0.01 ETH as a prize. That would suck to hit that, huh? Trust me, I do want to. I do want to. Yeah. I know Blocks love this thing. I get it. It's Blocks being excited about it that got me like finally diving in. It's excellent though. This thing is very cool. So now it's like, how does Dumpster respond? Well, no, the response is launching the thing they launched. A lot of this stuff comes from Dumpster. You know what I mean? Like all these ideas, everybody's got them. But there's a lot in here that came from Deathster and Dumpster, like doing the gamifying the NFT raffle thing, Deathster. And yeah. And now expanding to other assets, Deathster, Dumpster. Atari, hit me up if you do that for sure. We can stream it. Maybe by then I'll grow some balls and I'll do it. We'll do a spin. Oh yeah, let me pull up that thing you brought up. But okay, at the very least, I think we got a real good understanding on how this works, right? Like, are we there now, guys? Where I think we all get how the platform works pretty fucking well. Like, I don't think I have questions now. I think I've got it. It's cool, right? And look, something like that takes. What are we? We probably spent 2 hours on that, right? But now we get it. Now we get it. Maybe a little late. Your packs have a 77.3 RTP. I don't know what RTP means, but okay. You pay EV times 1.1. The exit pays you 85% of your backing. You lose 23 cents of every dollar every single pack. The EV term cancels. It doesn't matter what pool you pick. I didn't know you pick a pool. Or how it's built. The number's identical every time. No skill, no timing, no edge. And it compounds. 5 packs leaves you 27%. 10 packs leaves you 7.6. I don't get this at all. A buyer staring at a pack has no way to know they're taking a worse deal than any casino on earth. Interesting. Yeah, again, this is so. Oh, return to player. Thank you. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, this is the thing. This is the biggest thing I don't know. It's that. I don't understand the odds. And they explained it. Well, it's that one doc that said this harmonic, whatever. 73% out or 77% out. So yeah. So yeah, this is actually, I guess that's a pretty big problem. Nobody, is it in the documents, the odds? It might not be because the odds always change, right? Wait, the cost changes. Do the odds change? Yeah, I don't know if the odds are published. And I don't know if the odds change. You could look at the contract and figure it out. Oh, dude. Totally missed this. Deploy your own. Okay. Well, suddenly there's FWA utility. Suddenly right there, it's build your own gotcha machine. And like, just like Punkster, the fees roll back to like FWA buybacks or something. That's actually kind of crazy. Picture like every project out there can like, copy the code and have their own machine for their community. Or this can be like outside of like, the 10K NFT stuff. It can be like a courtyard could use it, or you know what I mean? Like anybody could take their system and wrap it. But yeah, I don't think they have their odds anywhere. So then back to that article. If those odds are bad, it sounds like they're bad. Oh, pricing draw. Okay. Where was that? Somewhere here. I think somewhere there. Sounds bad. I don't know enough about that, but sounds bad. Keeping the NFT only breaks even if the floor beats 1.1 X pool EV. Huh. Okay. Raheem's got feedback and he's good. So he's telling that person they misunderstood. Anyone can be the house on this mechanism, unlike in a casino. So it has to do with the fee sharing stuff. Oh, and that you're depositing. Yeah. So it's yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. So the person who provided the punk made 40 ETH, right? Yeah. So he's saying you can't compare the two because it's not the house winning; it's people playing it, just a different part of the game. So it's like you have to calculate it different. You're getting paid in FWA, so that has upside too. Yeah. It is different. Different. But people playing it should know the odds, right? Okay. Yeah, reading the takes, then it sounds stupid. Token's gated by the game, so it's different as well. Token is gated by the game. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think everything here is a fair point. Your odds to hit are pretty low. Or like the value of what you're hitting is low, but also that's not the only game. It's not the only player. You know, there's a player on both sides. Yeah, so it is totally different. Who's this person? I don't know, man. It's good stuff. All of it. It's good stuff. I dig it. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else we might have missed on it. Like that just doesn't click yet. But the coming soon is interesting. FWA utility is definitely part of that. Yeah, what else? 10 days off we're watching for. I don't know. It's good. It's good. I like it a lot. Yeah, Adam cooked with this thing. Adam cooked with this. All right, let me take one last look at what people are winning right now. Just want to see something big. And I'm still pretty sure that was the protocol buying before. Are the wins getting smaller? 0.06, 0.08, 0.05, 0.07. There's some good stuff still. Yeah, they feel like they're getting a little smaller. Yeah, it changes. It changes. I don't know what relisted means. You know what? Let me ask that because I don't get that. Relisted. Yeah, what does that mean? Could have been my 0.05. It could have been. Relisted. Yeah, I have no clue. Boy, this thing's moving though. There we go. There's a Nakamigo for 0.74 ETH. Somebody took the ETH on it. That's a cool win. Yeah, it's a good win. Dude, I could just watch this. All right, let's see what's relisted. Okay, relisted means you keep the NFT in the protocol. Oh, okay. You deposit an NFT, you back it with ETH. Somebody hits your NFT and they choose your ETH. So you still have the NFT. That means you just basically put more ETH up behind it. That's what that means. Okay. So you play, get allocated NFT. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not what it means. Well, in a way, it's what it means. It's not the depositor. It's the person who hit the NFT, keeps the NFT on the platform, puts up the ETH behind it. Now they're a depositor. That's what it means. Okay. So now they're earning fees on it. The original depositor receives their backing back, so they get their ETH back. And they need to come up with a new NFT to deposit back in. So it saves you fees. The NFT doesn't come back to your wallet. All right. So then relisted is something we watch for if somebody wins and wants to play the FWA token. They want to earn FWA instead of like just claiming FWA. God, this platform's, I love it, dude. It's awesome. Yeah, I just really fucking love it. Yeah, I'm sure we'll come up with some more things that we got to figure out. But I think we got the bulk of it, and then the rules are going to change soon. And I don't know. I'm going to stay dialed into it. I'm real curious how this thing plays out, and I'm still really curious about this. This part makes sense. Somebody selling it makes sense, I think. Although if you can't buy it, I don't know where you can sell it to, but whatever. Unless there's a big part here I don't understand and you can't even sell it. This is still like a mechanic of like the platform. There's got to be somewhere you buy and sell though. I don't know. I do know you can't buy it though. I know that for sure. Well, fuck, man. If you can't buy it, then how do you sell it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That part's confusing. Like, what are all these little cells? Yeah, like, what is all this? Okay, wait. I'm being silly with some of this stuff. I think these are fees. I think these things are fees happening. And the buys are, the buy is when somebody claims FWA and it takes the person's ETH and buys token. And the little things are, it's just fees. So yeah. You can sell them on the site? Okay. All right. Well, then that helps too. So you can sell here, but you can't buy. Oh, good shout, man. Even so, that seems weird. You know what I mean? It just seems a little weird. Not weird. It's just I'm kind of curious what that is. And not the sell. The sell I get, but the buy I don't get. Only because I don't see a big hit. I don't see somebody claiming FWA then. Somebody took 0.3. I want to see a big win. Someone's going to hit a big thing. Somebody's going to hit, well, maybe, but somebody's going to hit that 160 ETH is gone. Dude, and the 66 ETH thing is gone? No, okay. Again, being retarded. Still there. 160 still there. It's in a pool. Okay. Dumb. Yeah. I want to see a big win today. Yeah. Cool ass platform. Cool. All right. I think we'll wrap there. That was a good was a good deep dive on FWA. Keep your eyes on that. That is the hottest thing, pretty much the hottest thing right now. You know, like look at that, 10,000 tokens, 3.2 mil. But probably got to keep an eye on that and see if like what if you have to have one of those to put up a position here too? I don't think you would do it. I think everything's going to be kind of on its own. All of it feeding back to Punkster. I still feel like Punkster is the main thing. So I imagine FWA will have some kind of like Punkster, like 8% of fees going to Punkster. I don't know if anything goes to 10,000 token NFTs, but possibly. And I think Adam's probably trying to feel all that out too. Like he probably doesn't even know, but yeah, that's cool to see. 10,000 tokens, $297,000. But this, yeah, it's not a sale. That's that position we saw. This is somebody putting up. Oh, you know what? I think we got to look at that. Not just that, but I bet a lot of that volume is not those being bought, sold. Like, right? That makes sense now that we've seen it. It's people just putting up ETH with an NFT. It's just them making that staking position. So, like, that didn't sell. Yeah, I think we got to tweak that. Otherwise, it's going to show, man, we're going to have to tweak that on a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. There's so much that goes into making tracking sales. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. Okay. 2633. I got to tell our team that we need to make a tweak here. 260. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and probably fix up a bunch of the data from the past few days. Yeah, a lot of those sales are not sales. Yeah, so wow, this is probably all a decent amount lower. Not nothing crazy, but yeah, we gotta fix that. All right, well, I'm gonna do that now. Tomorrow we'll do like the rest of NFT stuff. There's a lot this week. There's some V1 stuff. Yeah. There's some V1 stuff. There's a little crypto bats, little something that happened this week, which is pretty cool. What else? Just kind of scanning my tabs here. I think we'll talk a little more Ansem coin tomorrow. Some AI news. I'll astral project right to your bedroom and I'll stand over your bed and just, there's things I'll do. Yeah, hit the like, I guess. But follow me on X. It's Mind Maxing on X. It's Inside NFTs on YouTube. And I'm trying to think anything else, but I don't know. And it sounds like the dumpster fire is Monday. So let's see if that thing gets spicy. It might. I'm hoping so, boys. All right, enjoy your Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow morning. And goodbye.